Wasatch able to still host that one. And now we're down here for the second game of the two-game series. Wasatch getting the win yesterday 8-1, improving to 11-5 on the season and 4-1 in region play. Timpview still looking for their first win of the season and in region play. And we're excited to bring you on. You're listening to the Dairy King pregame show brought to you by the Dairy King. Throughout the years, the menu at the Dairy King has expanded beyond just the traditional burgers, fries, and shakes to non-traditional seasonal items and the best gluten-free menu in the state. Winners at Best in State for over 20 years. Ty, we saw Wasatch get the 8-1 victory yesterday. Some keys to the game today for Wasatch.
Well, it's kind of an interesting opponent coming up here for Wasatch. The Timpview 7-9. You mentioned 0-5 in region play, and they actually lost their last preseason game too. So they're on a 6-game losing streak right now here at Timpview, Ty. But it's kind of all over the board. Some of their losses, an 8-1 loss, not just to Wasatch, but also to Mountain View, a 9-1 loss to Cedar Valley, and then a 10-2 loss. Not many runs scored. But then you've got these monster games offensively, 10 runs and a loss to Cedar Valley, 17 runs and a loss to Salem Hills. And so I would expect Timpview, kind of their trend, Tyler, has been able to be bounced back offensively. And so if you're Wasatch, you got to minimize the freebies, right? When you look at who's on the mound there, you can't give free passes and free walks and give this team that can swing it well a chance to drive in runs. Ty, we're at a place a lot of people like to refer to as the Homer Dome down here at Timpview. Short porch, balls can jump out of the yard pretty quickly. And we know Timpview's got 3 or 4 guys that can hit it out of the yard. And so the recipe for disaster, if you're Wasatch, is errors and walks because you can put base runners on and the home run ball can come into play here today.
Those keys brought to you by Smiles by Design, brightening lives and instilling confidence and inspiring wellness. Enjoy welcoming, personalized dental care that leaves a lasting impression. Going to jump over to our game intro brought to you by UCCU. UCCU, an organization rooted in the credit union philosophy of people helping people. UCCU, love where you bank. Ty, just looking up a couple of stats this morning. Wasatch dropping to number 9 in the RPI standings. 3 Region 7 teams in the RPI for the Region 7. Number 1 is Maple Mountain. Only 1 loss on the season. Look to be the team to beat again this year, returning state champs. Orem has dropped to number 5 after a couple of losses in region play. Wasatch coming in at number 9 with the loss to Spanish Fork last week. And then Cedar Valley knocking on the door, sitting at number 11. Then you jump down to 18, 19, 20-ish area for Salem Hills, Springville, and Spanish. And then Timpview coming in at number 24.
Yeah, Ty, so neither of these teams actually moved yesterday in the RPI standings. Timpview was 24 coming into that game yesterday where they lost to Wasatch. Wasatch was number 9, and so the win didn't help Wasatch. The loss didn't hurt Timpview. And, Ty, you're probably going to see not a lot of movement again today as most teams around the state are yet again not playing in this ball game here today, around the state today. And so Wasatch, you may not see a lot of movement again after this game.
Be back with the opening pitch right after this.
Are you ready for lunch? Well, the Dairy King, home of the train, is serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley and have been the winner of Best of State for 20 years. They've recently been named the best of Utah for their milkshakes. You've got to try their delicious train burger with an Oreo shake. They also have those yummy salads that just hit the spot or a turkey breast sandwich that tickles the taste buds. They've proudly been serving the Heber Valley for 78 years at the Dairy King, home of the train, serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
We at Guild Mortgage help people build personal wealth through real estate, be it your first home, next home, dream home, or investment property. At Guild Mortgage, we help you refinance for that lower interest rate, shorter term, or home remodel. At Guild Mortgage, we help you plan for retirement by owning multiple investment properties and can even add to your retirement plan with a reverse mortgage. We at Guild Mortgage believe everyone can own what matters.
Timberline Ace Hardware is committed to helping their neighbors and their communities, and because they're in the neighborhood, they can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in store, curbside, or they'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock with people that know how to help. Timberline Ace Hardware, serving the community for over 50 years.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Opening pitch brought to you by Mountain Refined. Nestled in the heart of the Heber Valley, Mountain Refined has been a trusted community staple for over 30 years. Our passion lies in serving the community by providing top-notch furniture and flooring solutions. Mentioning again, this should have been at home, but due to the weather yesterday, Timpview's field not able to play. They still have the traditional dirt baselines and infield, and so not able to get the game in down here. They switched it up to the all-turf infield. Were able to play yesterday with moisture. Able to get the field ready to go today. And Ty, talking to Scott Haney, the Salem Hills coach, not able to play a lot of these teams down in Utah County due to the weather. Spanish Fork Salem Hills postponing their 2-game series, I believe, to Monday, where they'll play a doubleheader.
Back-to-back Mondays.
And
Ty, they're going to have to play games. So they're going to play one on Monday. They're not going to do a doubleheader, and then they'll do one the following Monday.
Oh, gotcha.
Instead. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he was telling me when I talked to Scott, 5 games next week and then 4 games the following week. They're going to have to play 9 games over the next couple weeks.
Tough. Tyler, go ahead and take us through Wasatch, the designated visiting team. Take us through the batting order for Wasatch.
Going to be a familiar look for Wasatch with a few tweaks from yesterday's lineup. Tyler, leading off will be freshman Austin Brown, the lefty. Power bat going against power arm on the mound. That'll be intriguing here, Tyler. Then you'll have Braxton Fowler, leading batting average for Wasatch at .417 on the season. He'll be followed by Grant Mahoney, who's over .360 on the year with his batting average. Colton Hafen in at the 4 spot, cleaning up, DHing for Wasatch. And Max Livingston, who's on the mound today. That's who Holden will DH for. Bridger Shaw hitting in the 5-hole, playing third base. Blake Sweat, your starting pitcher yesterday, hitting 6, playing left field. 7 will be catcher Micah Dahl. 8 will be Eddie Bluth in right field. And then 9, Kyron Stocking playing second base today. That's your starting 9 for the Wasatch Wasps.
Starting on the mound for Timpview will be the first baseman from yesterday, junior Will Cannon will be on the mound on the season. Cannon, looking at his stats real quickly. A 2.39 ERA in 14 2/3 innings pitched. He's their best arm. Austin Brown swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back for strike 1. Brown 404 on the season. 21 runs scored, 18 RBIs, and 8 extra base hits, including the lone home run on the team for Wasatch. The 0-1, that one swung on and fouled back as well, moves the count to 0-2.
Yeah, can I put you on the spot, Tyler? Think he adds to that total here today at Timpview? 1 home run for Austin?
Be nice. It's a little bit cold, a little bit snowy. Need some action down here, Ty.
I think he gets one today.
The 0-2, Cannon into the windup, delivers, goes with the off speed for the first time, misses outside and low for ball 1. Wasatch wearing their gray bottoms, yellow tops.
It's a good bite on that breaking pitch, though, Tyler. We're directly behind the plate here today, and that one bites hard.
Timpview in their dark gray unis, orange cap, a little Tennessee T look on the cap. 2-2 the count. That one misses as well outside. Brown back into the box. Cannon into the windup. Delivers the 2-2. Goes upstairs. It's going to be a ground ball. That's going to get through the infield for the second day in a row. Brown's able to get things going with a base knock. And Wasatch has the first guy on.
Yeah, good 2-strike approach, Ty. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just stayed inside the pitch. Drove it right back up the middle. And always nice to get the leadoff man on.
Third base hit of the series for Austin Brown. And it's going to bring up Braxton Fowler. Leads the team with a .436 batting average, 15 runs scored, a couple of doubles, and a .571 on-base percentage. Sophomore shortstop. He's having a great sophomore year, Ty. Saw him last year as a freshman get a lot of time at the varsity level, struggled at the plate, and he has not struggled at the plate through the midseason. Brown, an okay lead over first base. Pickoff move. Brown does not get down, able to get back without getting dirty. Still no pitch here to Brown. To Fowler. Cannon working out of the stretch for the first time. Delivers on the slide step. Low and outside for ball 1. Brown with the fake steal. He'll go back to first base. Another pickoff move, not in time. Brown's able to get back easily. It's a weird location, this Timpview, Ty. Just
beautiful
swirls
here,
a little
though.
bit.
Yeah,
I'm saying the weather is just kind of
the weather
swirls.
always is funky. Last year here, the game was, just say it was miserable, right? The wind, the conditions that was here, and you can look out just a couple miles south here.
Either
it's
way.
Beautiful, and
Yeah.
it's just the wind and the snow. It's just kind of flurrying right now up here.
Second pitch misses as well, as does the next one. It's a 3-0 count.
Balk,
2-0 count is third balk of the series on the Timpview pitching staff, and that'll move Brown into scoring position. Cannon asked the umpire, I think just no pause, right? Had
Yeah.
to pause, didn't pause, and it's going to move Brown over to second base. 2-0 still the count, nobody out. Pitch, that one's in there for a strike. 2-1 now the count to Fowler. Cold enough that it's not rain, Ty, it's snow.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm okay with the snow more than
Snow's
the
a little
rain.
better than the rain.
2-1, misses low and outside, moves the count to 3-1.
In fact, take this over the wind and the rain,
Yes,
Tyler. This
yeah.
is not. It looks worse, but not as bad as wind and rain. You talked about that yesterday. Weather's very
Big
top
deal.
of your priority
Big deal.
for a good baseball game.
Big deal. Three
So-
balls, one strike,
So you're miserable right now is what you're saying, Ty.
basically. High chopper to the third baseman. Brown's going to be able to advance to third base. Oh, he airmails the throw. Wasatch is going to take the 1-0 lead on the throwing error by the third baseman of Timpview. And Braxton Fowler able to reach base. He's on second base, and Wasatch with the 1-0 lead.
Well, Ty, that can happen when it's wet like this here. And I don't know if that's what happened in this particular situation, but the ball can get slick if you hit it in the grass. It's been raining. It's been wet the last couple days, and you don't get the four seams on there and zip it over there on the seams. The ball can get away from you.
Going to bring up number 3 hitter Grant Mahoney, senior first baseman, 319 on the season, 7 extra base hits, including 1 triple. And he'll come up with a runner in scoring position here. Your batting order today was brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop. When it comes to your health, you deserve quality and effective care. At Physical Heber Valley, we work with you to understand your health and wellness goals and create a customized plan to get your desired outcome.
Braxton there at second was retreating as that ball was coming to home plate. It was a breaking pitch going off the edge, Tyler. Need to see his momentum carrying towards third base as he's getting his lead on the pitch.
1-0, swing and a miss, or 1-0 count, swing and a miss, moves the count to 1-1. Cannon going to the off-speed pitch off in here at the top of the lineup for Wasatch.
Yeah, and that's not a bad idea, Ty. You can see it fooled Mahoney a little bit. Got a base open at first base with a 3-hitter up and a runner in scoring position.
That one misses low and outside. 2-1 now the count.
If I set the scene up here for those that haven't been to Timpview, you know, you talk about the field being an unusual location right up here against the mountains.
Right up against the
right on
mountain.
the mountain range. And it's really kind of a cool venue. The field is looking kind of southwest or southeast. And beyond the field is a very tall hill here. You know, you'd call this a mountain if you were back east. So there,
that's
and
right.
the house is sitting up on top of that hill, and the field's a little bit shorter. And then there's kind of a tier system where the field actually sits up about 20 to 30 feet above the street where you come in. So it's kind of sitting up above everything else. It's a cool venue here.
3-2 fills up the count as that one gets the outside corner. Mahoney thought it was a little low and outside, but he gets the call. 3-2 the count, nobody out. Wasatch already up 1 here in the top of the first. Fowler gets his secondary. That one's going to miss everything, and Fowler will advance to third base. Mahoney is going to take first, and Wasatch will have runners on the corner. Still nobody out. Single air walk to lead off the game, and that's going to bring up Colton Hafen, not in the lineup yesterday. He's hitting .333 on the season, 5 RBIs, a .611 on base percentage for the senior, who's designated hitter today for the pitcher Max Livingston. Field is wet, Ty, just looking at the cleats. It's pretty moist out there on the field. That one's going to be below the knees for ball 1. Starting to snow pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm looking around, Ty, and I'd
it's
like
just
to
snowing
say
right
I don't
here.
think it's going to last, but I don't know. Maybe it will, but there's blue skies kind of around the field.
2-0 count. Again, Cannon comes in only a 2.43 ERA. Best on the team in 14 2/3 innings pitched. Already given up 1, and Wasatch threatening with runners on first and third. Another miss, slow and outside. Moves the count to 3-0 here to the senior Hafen. Bridger Shaw on deck for Wasatch, who again comes in 4-1 in region play, 11-5 on the season. The 3-0, that one's in there for a strike on the inside corner. 3-1 now the count. Only in Utah do we have this? Do we have other states where
It's
it's
just going through
snowing?
my mind. You see this every once in a while in big league games where you've got some snow flurries that they're playing through, and it happens from time to time. What Denver's probably where the Rockies play, experience similar things like this.
Full count, a couple of strikes at the belt. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. First out of the game for Timpview. Comes on a swinging strikeout, and that'll bring up Bridger Shaw. 311 on the season, 16 RBIs, 4 doubles, and a .467 on-base percentage. Wasatch trying to add to their 1-0 lead. Remember, we're big fans of Pardon the Interruption, and when the Twins moved out of the Metrodome and built a new baseball field, and it was an open field. And I remember Tony and Mike jokingly asking if they knew that they were in Minnesota. Like maybe they'd been playing in a dome so long that they didn't realize that in early March and late October, November, there's a lot of snow up in Minnesota.
Yeah, and the earlier the season's starting, Tyler, early March now, that probably is a little bit of a challenge.
2-0 the count.
High school baseball in Idaho has to be tough, right? Go up north to Idaho.
BYU as well played yesterday against Arizona. Their field is heated, so they could get 20 inches of snow and just melt that thing off. Actually got a big win over a ranked Arizona team. 2-1 now the count. Here to, again, Bridger Shaw. Cannon looks to be settling in a little bit after a walk and then was able to get a strikeout after going down 3-0. Runner's going to go on the 3-0. Pitch is going to go right back to the pitcher. The throw down to the second is going to go right back to the pitcher. Ball was low, and that'll move the count to 3 balls, 1 strike, and Wasatch now with runners on second and third, 1 out.
Yeah, Ty, but Cannon's pitch count already getting up there. He's approaching 30 pitches. They've only recorded 1 out here in the first inning.
The 3-1 outside. That'll fill up the bases on the second walk of the inning. And we'll bring up Blake Sweat on the season. .367, as well has 16 RBIs, good for second on the team. 3 doubles, 3 triples, and a .418 on-base percentage as well.
This is a great start for Wasatch to this game here, Tyler, because you look at the opponent. You talk about the pitcher, Cannon, their best arm that they've got here, but at this rate, you're going to get through a maximum of 3 innings, right? If you're pitching with this many pitches in the first, second, third follow-up in a similar suit, Wasatch should be able to chase into the bullpen pretty early in this game at this rate.
That one misses low to Sweat, the 1-0. That one's in there for a strike. It's fouled off into the soccer field behind us. Timpview building a new school on the same location. Football field done first. I think that should be right with Timpview. Get the football field done first, then build the school afterwards. But it's a beautiful field over here.
Is that a real question? I'm sure that was not even a debate down here.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's a beautiful football field, and if I'm not mistaken, that's where, I can't remember. Is Timpview home or away this year for the football team?
Should be away. That was the homecoming game last year, or senior night, one of those two, because you only had the Orem and Timpview at home for Wasatch last year. So it should be on the road for the Wasps down here. 1
ball, 1 strike. Into the windup, delivers the 1-1, gets the outside corner for strike 2. Nice pitch there from Canton. Had a little bit of a pause in the action from Mirror Lake Station as a shortstop catcher, both communicating with Cannon on pitches with the runner on second base. It's a 1-2 count here to Sweat. Cannon taking his time, now will deliver. And that one's going to miss everything. It's a wood backstop, so this one's going to ricochet back to the catcher. The throw home, not in time, and Fowler will score the second run of the inning on the wild pitch. Both other runners advance as well, so second and third, 1 away, and a 2-2 count.
Yeah, that wood backstop here ricocheted that right back, Tyler. That was a close play. The hand just sneaking under the tag there of Cannon at home.
Also an all-turf backstop as well behind the plate, and so a ball easily moving on the turf and on the wood. The 2-2, that one's going to nearly miss everything as well. Nice play here by the catcher. Fills up the count at 3-2 with Micah Dahl on deck.
Myers, the catcher today here for the T-Birds. Doing a good job back there.
Timpview brings their infield in with only 1 away. Huge lead from Shaw at second base, and that one's too far outside. Close, but doesn't get the call. Third walk of the inning, and once again the bases are loaded for Wasatch.
That's a pretty good pitch there, Tyler. He had quite a bit of zip on that, and one of the techniques that you can actually learn as a pitcher as you get a little older, if he actually took a couple miles per hour off that, I think he would have had a little more action on that ball, and it probably would have cut off the outside part of the plate and came back in. But because it was so firm, he didn't get as much action cutting back in on the plate.
Bases are loaded as this one's going to miss outside. He'll go back or stay working out of the windup. It's Mahoney at third, Shaw at second, and Blake Sweat at first. Dahl in the box. The 1-0, that one's on the outside corner for strike one. Dahl 286 on the season with 11 RBIs. Now has a 1-1 count. The pitch. That one's going to be swung on. That's a good barrel to right field, but the right fielder's going to come up and make the play. Nice play by the right fielder, and just hard enough that Wasatch not able to tag.
Yeah, that was a mistake at third base from Grant. Tyler, he was wandering off. That ball, as soon as it's in the air, you retreat back to third base, and he just kind of got caught out there a little bit.
And Ty looking, he tried, and I think it's just muddy. I think we just have wetness here, and he slipped and couldn't get back in time. So bases are still loaded. Tough break there for Wasatch on the good barrel from Micah Dahl. And bring up Eddie Bluth with 2 outs, 273 on the season for Eddie. Ooh, tough strike call there, and that's going to be strike one. Bluth on the season, a 273 batting average, a 564 on base percentage. That one's going to miss inside on the check swing for ball one. One ball, one strike.
Yeah, they wanted to check there on that tie, but the hip started. The bat didn't move at all, so that one, looking at the lower half, you might say swung, but definitely didn't get the bat going.
The 1-1, that one's going to get away again. Ooh, called strike, though. So 1-2 count now to Bluth with 2 outs. Runner's not able to advance, didn't get far enough away from the catcher. 1 ball, 1-2, or 1 ball, 2 strikes. Into the windup goes Cannon, delivers. And that one below the knees, too far below the knees, 4 ball, 2. 2-2, Eddie playing right field again for Wasatch, sophomore. Cannon taking his time, getting the sign. Eddie asks for a time and does get the time.
Do you think he's the most frustrating bat to face in Wasatch's lineup if you're a pitcher? Feels like Eddie will take you full.
Yeah.
It feels like almost every other bat,
I agree.
right? I mean, it's just a tough out.
The 2-2 swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning, and Wasatch is retired. 2 runs come in on 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 are left on base. 2-0 as we go into the bottom of the first.
Hey Wasatch, it's Nicole with Mountain Refined. We are so excited to be supporting our local teams and all the sports that you guys are into. We wanted you to know a little piece of what we have. You can come on down, grab teacher gifts, protein powder, and even rent that tuxedo for junior prom. Did you guys know that? Shop local and support us. We love being a part of this community. Go Wasatch, 480 North Main Street, right here in Heber.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
You'll always find the best deals and expert service at your local Napa Auto Parts store. We offer expert service in helping you find the parts you're looking for your current project, as well as Milwaukee tools. We can also help you with most motorsport, RV, and vehicle battery needs at your local Napa Auto Parts store in Heber City.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the first brought to you by Mountain West Trailers. Know you value strength and reliability. Utility trailers that are built to last, enclosed cargo for your business, dump trailers for tough jobs, or open trailers for everything in between. Haul it all, big or small, because Mountain West Trailers stands tall. Visit them at mountainwesttrailer.com. Ty, I'd like to give shout-outs. People that are tuning in. Had somebody tuned in from Taiwan the other day at a lacrosse game, or Bangkok. It was, Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. So a shout out, but also want to give a shout out to, how about the driver's ed kids, Ty? Coach Bringhurst, new head football coach, out driving with the kids, and says they're tuned in, listening to some Wasatch High School baseball this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Always fun to have the students listening in, Ty. Got to get some names, give them a shout out over there. That was an interesting inning for Wasatch in the top of the first, Ty. 3 walks in the top of the inning. Wasatch also found their way by error on there. They had a hit, yet only come up with 2 runs, right? Kind of a bizarre inning.
First pitch is going to be swung on, and eerily similar first hit of the game for Timpview that Austin Brown had for Wasatch. Swings at a pitch a little bit out of the zone, and it's a single up the middle. That's Clark's second hit of the series, and he reaches base, the senior outfielder. It's going to bring up number 18, Zeke Clevin, the starting pitcher yesterday for the Thunderbirds. The senior.
Yeah, playing shortstop today for the T-Birds is Clevin.
Yesterday in game 1 of the series, Clevin with 2 walks and 2 Ks. Did score on one of his, was the lone scorer. He'll swing at the first pitch as well. That one's fouled back to the backstop for strike 1.
Yeah, if I'm building a scouting report for this Timpview team, Ty, the first 4 or 5 guys are going to swing almost always at those first available strikes. That's what we're seeing here early on in this series. They're free swingers. And Wasatch done a pretty good job to keep them off balance.
Max working out of the stretch on all of them, and they're going to say he went on the check swing. So strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes. Max on the season, Ty, 2-1 record, 8 and 2/3 innings pitched, an 8.88 ERA. But Ty, his last outing was great. 4 innings pitched, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Only gave up 4 runs in those innings. Had a really good outing against Springville. Runner's going to go. That pitch is in there for strike 3. That's going to be Gravity Coalition strikeout number 1 for Livingston. And that's going to bring up the number 3 hitter.
Stolen base there on that, Ty. As Timpview was in motion, almost had to strike him out, throw him out, but the ball floating a little bit on the curveball. Just a little tough for Mike to get that thing out and release in time. So successful stolen base for Timpview.
It's going to bring up lefty senior Tyler Weed, hitting above 400 on the season. On deck will be the pitcher, Will Cannon.
Yeah, power bat here. Max needs to avoid middle upper part of the plate.
Tripled in his first at bat yesterday for Timpview and then was stranded. Livingston's landing the curveball. That's in there for a strike on the outside corner, strike 1. What do you think of the dark gray look, Ty?
I like
the
it.
light gray? You
yeah,
like the
I
dark
think it
gray?
looks good. Really easy to see the numbers in these uniforms. Good outline, dark gray.
No balls, 1 strike. The pitch swung on. It's elevated to left field. Blake starts up, now settles underneath it, makes the second out of the inning. Wasatch 2 away, still a runner on second base.
That was one of those where Blake took a step in, then realized that ball was right where he was standing, took a step back, and didn't have to move at all. That was almost like a Sandlot type play, right, where he could just put his glove up and not move. That thing would have landed right where he was pre-pitch.
Going to bring up Will Cannon, hitting above 500 on the season. Yesterday in game 1 of the series, Cannon goes 1 for 3, singled and have the lone RBI in the game for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, he's got such a great aggressive swing here, Tyler. Only 1 home run on the year. I'd expect that number to climb before the season's over 500 on the season, batting average.
Does have 9 doubles as well. He's going to swing at the second pitch. It's on the inside part of the plate. It's fouled off, foul behind the Wasatch dugout. Move the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. So, Ty, you asked me yesterday about the Mount Rushmore, if you will, of a baseball game. What's the ideal baseball? How about the Mount Rushmore of a uniform? Because I asked you if you like the uniform, and you went straight to I can see the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a top thing when you're looking at new uniforms?
This is a good question, but such a opinionated question too.
1-1. It's going to be a ground ball to Shaw. Shaw fields it cleanly, throws it across the diamond. Mahoney, of course, digs it out of the dirt. We'll just make that an automatic pick out of the dirt from Grant Mahoney.
Ty, that's a hard play that Grant just made over there. That's not an easy short hop, backhand side, and he just made it look like a piece of cake.
Wasatch gets out of the inning after the leadoff single. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner is left on base, 2-0 going into the second.
Here at Country Gardens and Nursery, we hope that you feel that you are home when you are away from home as you go around our perennial floor checking out the newest and latest for beauty for your garden. As you wander into our indoor plant shop, seeing the possibility of what could be yours. Stop by Country Gardens and Nursery, your home away from home. 1401 US 189, Heber City, Utah. And don't forget to check us out on social media for quick tips and tricks throughout the season.
Chad here from Mountain West Trailers. Celebrating 20 years in business, we know you value strength and reliability. Whether it's for work or play, our dump and equipment trailers are built to last. Enclosed cargo trailers for business and fun, or open utility trailers for everything in between. With expert sales, parts, and service, we've got you covered. Mountain West Trailers is always right behind you. Visit us at mountainwesttrailer.com or stop by at 1470 South Highway 40 here in Heber.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the second brought to you by Heber Valley Chamber. Exists to build and be a part of a community where residents, visitors, and businesses thrive. Our mission is to promote tourism, connect businesses, and unite our community. That's Heber Valley Chamber. Wasatch leads 2-0. It's going to be 9-1-2 up for Wasatch. Stocking followed by Brown and Fowler. Stocking, 345 batting average, 21 runs scored. Is tied for the best on the team. Also has 11 RBIs. Yesterday in game 1, walked and scored, and then a couple of ground outs. The 2-0, or excuse me, the first pitch is in there for a strike. 2-0 is the count. 2-0 is the score, Ty.
Ty, 21 runs scored. Last year, he would have accounted for nearly 25% of the entire team's run totals. Team scored, I think, 91 runs last year, and he's already got 21 by himself. That's a huge number for your number 9 hitter in the lineup.
That one's going to go at the head of Stocking. He'll duck underneath it for ball 1. Game for just joining us. Top of the second. Wasatch already up 2-0 after 2 runs in the first. Off-speed pitch in for a strike. Mentioned Ty, he starts landing that. That's going to be a tough little combo.
Yeah.
Decent enough fastball, and then that bender. It's going to move the count to 1-2. Goes right back to it. It's going to be a pop-up in foul territory. Tough play from the first baseman. Who will make that play? Nice play. That is Tyler Weed, the number 3 hitter, makes the play in foul territory for the first out of the inning.
See, this Timpview team, Ty, they've been taught some pretty good basic principles here of baseball. It's a good inside-out fastball combo that we've seen. Curveball that was kind of tight and in, and then he tried to go to the outer half on that one. The pitch itself floated a little bit, but the location made that hard.
This is going to be an off-speed that's going to be elevated to right field into foul territory, and right fielder makes the play. Nice job from the right fielder of Timpview, and just like that, Wasatch has 2 away.
Well, this is just what the doctor ordered for Will Cannon on the mound, Tyler. He needed a quick inning, came into this one at 40 pitches in the first inning. Now only 5 pitches down, Ty. He's got 2 outs in the top of the second. That's just what he needed.
Fowler's going to come up, reached on an error on a ground ball to the third baseman, and ended up scoring. Again, a .436 batting average coming into this game, but in region play, Ty, .471 for Braxton Fowler and a .500 on-base percentage. He's been really good, has scored 4 runs in region play through just 5 games. That first pitch is in for a strike. Now swings at 1, a little bit out of the zone, move the count to 0-2.
Well, Braxton's been doing so well with his swing, Tyler. He's using the entire part of the field. He's been able to pull it down the left field line, hit line drives over to the right field line as well, hit it back up the middle. He's been doing everything.
0-2. Cannon went back up above the bell, but Fowler able to get a piece of it, protects the plate, and keeps the count at 0-2.
Yeah, that pitch, when Spanish Fork played him earlier this week, really gave Wasatch fits, that high fastball.
Back into the windup is Cannon, delivers the 0-2, gets Fowler out in front. It's going to be elevated to shallow left field. Shortstop will make the grab, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Timpview on no runs, no hits, no errors. It's still 2-0 as we go into the bottom of the second.
Check out the Fit Stop Health Club. It's more than a great facility. Their employees and staff create a comfortable, caring, supportive place for men and women of all ages, as well as their families, to work out. They have your tanning beds, massage, and personal trainers. Find your new groove. Jump into their therapy pool with endless laughs. They have Group X classes with nationally certified and specially trained instructors. See what the Fit Stop offers. Go to their website at fitstophealthclub.com. For more information, call 654-2131.
Unlock your potential at Bonnie Joseph Academy, your local beauty school. Explore the art of cosmetology, barbering, hair design, basic aesthetics, master aesthetics, and nail tech programs. Visit bonniejosephacademy.edu to learn more and enroll today. Financial aid is available for qualifying students, and we offer flexible schedules and distant education options. Transform your passion into a rewarding career at Bonnie Joseph Academy, where beauty meets expertise. Bonnie Joseph Academy, Heber City.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the second inning at Timpview High School. You're listening to Wasatch Baseball, where your Wasatch Wasps lead 2-0 over Timpview High School. Got a 2-run top of the first inning, Tyler, aided in large part by 3 walks and 1 error from Timpview. Wasatch only had 1 hit on the board in the entire inning. But Timpview's been able to work out of that jam and then get a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second. And that's where we currently sit. Max Livingston, the starting pitcher here for Wasatch. Retired without issues in the bottom of the first inning. Only 1 runner got on. So that brings us to the 5-hitter of Timpview, Myers, at the plate, and he's going to take ball 1. Livingston back into the windup, ball 2. Both of those missing down and away in the dirt. Myers catching today for the T-Birds. Been busy behind the dish. There's a good line drive out to left field, and it's going to fall in front of Blake Sweat. That'll be the second hit of the day for Timpview. Leading off the second inning just like they led off the first. A leadoff single. Wasatch was able to work out of the jam, as I noted there earlier on in the first inning. See if they can do the same here. Coming up to the plate will be center fielder Christensen. Again, Timpview, this program has been down for many years here, but the last couple of seasons, they've really been working their way up in the right direction. 7-9 on the season now. Wasatch comes into this game with 11-5 overall record themselves. Number 9 in the RPI for the Wasps, number 24 in the RPI for Timpview. That's an important spot to be in, Tyler, because only 24 teams head to the state tournament. Another ball here from Livingston. That'll be ball 1. So after a leadoff single, looking at 1-0, Myers there at first base for the T-Birds, gets his lead. Livingston from the stretch, holds, delivers, and we'll have a foul ball off the right side.
Ty, when you're cold, you have some couple of tricks to get warm. One of them is you go to the bathroom and warm up the hands a little bit.
Just took off, yeah, over there. So didn't miss much, Ty. Leadoff single here to start the second inning to left field. And
second hit of the day for the T-Birds. Pickoff move was a good one, but safe at first. It is a speed-up runner for the catcher, Myers.
Ty, you asked about the uniforms a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you got to be conservative. As I was going to say, you can't go with the crazy colors, right? You can't get too wild like those all reds we talked about. We've seen all baby blues at times.
All orange from Skyridge.
Yeah, those. Not a big fan of the totally solid colors, but if you stay traditional, which I'd include gray in that, you know, you've got a gray type uniform, white, black. Those look pretty good.
It's a 2-1 count here to Christensen. Actually ended the game on the mound for Timpview yesterday. Nice pitch there from Livingston, and he's going to move the count to 2-2.
Yeah, good two-seam action there from Max, Ty. Ball started middle and then cut inside.
The 2-2, too low there. It's going to fill up the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, went with the same idea right there. I like it. It's a good pitch.
Livingston's looked good on the mound, Ty. The last couple of outings we mentioned struggled. The one outing down in St. George, but threw well against Springville. Ended up getting the win in that one. That one too low. It's going to be the first walk of the game for Livingston. It's going to put runners on first and second. Still nobody out. Wasatch leading 2-0. It's going to bring up Jackson Davis. Davis yesterday for Timpview. 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs to the shortstop. Walked in his second at bat. Couple of adjustments to the normal defensive lineup we've seen in region play. Kyron Stocking playing second base. Salmon's been playing there. He's playing second as Blake Sweat moves back into the outfield. First pitch misses to Davis.
Yeah, and that's this guy's bat has just been too good to take out of the lineup, Tyler. And he plays a good second base as well, but when you're hitting over 400, it just demands to be put in the lineup, and that's what Stocking has done. Early on in the season, there was a battle, Tyler, about who was going to win that second base spot, and it's been interesting because with the injuries to Sweat earlier in the season, they actually had to move Stocking to left, and he's done a nice job out there. Salmon's been really good at second with his glove over there, but Kyron has just swung the bat. He's one of the top averages on the team, Ty, and so you got to have him in there.
It's a 2-0 count. Have Mirror Lake Station pause as Mike Dahl and Grant Mahoney come out to talk to Livingston, who will reset again. Runners on first and second, a single and a walk. 2 hits now on the day for the Thunderbirds, who trail 2-0 in this one. Fowler trying to keep the runner close at second base. The 2-0 pitch, that one's on the nice outside corner for strike one.
Well, that's good. Whatever Mike went out there to say, it worked. Maybe he's got a coaching job in his future, Ty.
The 2-1, the pitch, right at the belt for strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Nice job here from Livingston coming back with back-to-back strikes. Livingston sets and delivers the 2-2, and right down the pipe for strike 3. Can't complain too much about that one. That's the second Gravity Coalition strikeout looking for Livingston on the day. Gravity Coalition offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Stop on in for sales and services. Visit them at their store in Midway or visit them at gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop.
Yeah, Davis must have been looking for a breaking pitch there, Ty, because that's a pretty good ball. Out of the hand, starting in the middle part of the plate. It's down a little bit, but certainly caught the bottom part of the zone. And
Called
Davis
strike one.
Stood and watched.
True Anderson now steps into the box for the Thunderbirds. The 0-1 swung on, a broken bat, 2. Oh, what a play from Graham Mahoney. Kyron Stocking wasn't going to be able to get to that one. Just a little shallow pop fly into the outfield, and Mahoney, like a cat, pounces off at first base, comes, makes the sliding catch.
Yeah, I got to correct. Didn't make it to the outfield, Tyler.
Sorry, did I say outfield?
Yeah, it
Sorry,
didn't even make it out
infield.
of the infield grass. He had to come in and slide on that grass in front of the dirt, and it's one of those bizarre balls where runners on second and third, if it falls, you might actually end up getting 2 outs because the runners are retreating and you don't know what to do, but you got to go get that out when you can. That's the right play from Grant to go make that catch, but I mean, does that constitute an infield fly, Tyler? If they
that's true.
should have
I
called
thought
that
about
ball
that.
in there with runners on first and second.
First pitch is going to be in on the hands, fouls it back to the backstop for strike one. It is Ty Wester. Did not start yesterday for the Thunderbirds. He's in the lineup today, a sophomore. First and second, 2 outs after having the first 2 guys get on. Strikeout, pop out to the infield. Livingston tries to go back to the hammer, not able to land it. 1-1 the count. Really nice right now, Ty. It's still cold, but beautiful blue skies.
It's
And
Utah baseball, right? You're going to be sunburned by the end of this game before you know it after having snow in the first inning. I think if you're Max here, you're careful with this batter, Tyler, because you don't want to groove anything here with the 9-hitter. But also, this is a 9-hitter spot where they're rotating guys in the lineup. So this is not one of their more confident bats. So you do want to go after them. Don't get too cute with the pitches.
that one's going to go all the way to the backstop. Again, the wood is going to bounce back to Dahl. It doesn't have a play anywhere. So that puts both runners in scoring position now. A 2-ball, 1-strike count to the number 9 hitter, Wester.
Yeah, you got to get done here, Ty. This top of the lineup is competitive for Timpview, and so you do not want this inning to extend with 1, 2, 3 sitting there waiting on deck.
2 balls, 1 strike. Livingston comes set, takes a peek at the runners on second and third. Delivers the 2-1. That one's right back up right down the pipe. Nice barrel, but it's going to head right to the freshman Brown in center field, who will make the play. And Wasatch gets out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. Still 2-0 as we go into the third.
At Heber Park City Appliance, you're getting a dedicated team of professionals who go out of their way to keep your home running smoothly. And when we say team, we're talking about 40 years of winning service and reliability. We're here to boost your at-home satisfaction long after your purchase. So when it's fourth quarter and your fridge goes out, oh man, be confident knowing we're a team that will go the distance for you. Heber Park City Appliance in Heber City. Visit us online at heberappliance.com.
Hey there, Heber City. Are you tired of dings, dents, and scrapes ruining the beauty of your beloved vehicle? Look no further than Robards Collision, the ultimate destination for all your auto body needs. At Robards Collision, they've been offering top-notch collision repairs and outstanding customer service. Their team of expert technicians is passionate about bringing your car back to its original glory, no matter the size of damage. Their state-of-the-art facility is equipped with cutting-edge technology, ensuring precise and accurate repairs. They handle it all with precision and care.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Top of the third, brought to you by Big O Tires. Get ready to rev up your savings with Big O Tires. Whether you're looking for the best tire deals or unbeatable service specials, you'll find everything you need to keep your vehicle in top shape while keeping more money in your wallet at Big O Tires. 3-4-5 up for Wasatch, Mahoney, Hafen, Shaw. Mahoney walked and was stranded on third base in his last at bat. Again, Wasatch leading 2-0 here in the top of the third. Beat Timpview yesterday 8-1. Come in 4-1 in region play. Number 9 in the RPI standings. Right on the cusp of getting a first-round bye. Would be Wasatch's first-round bye. This ball's going to be in on the hands. It's swung on. It's elevated to deep right center field. Nice play from the center fielder for Timpview. That is Jackson Christensen, Ty, with a nice play.
He's got a knack for finding the deepest part of the park, doesn't he? I mean, Timpview's a pretty short porch here all the way around except in right center. It gets pretty deep down there in right center, Ty, and he had a ball earlier this week that he just roped there at Wasatch to left center to the deepest part of the park, and that one felt kind of similar. It hit pretty well off the hands.
It's going to bring up Hafen, who's, again, designated hitter today. He struck out in his first at bat. Nice pitch there from Cannon on the inside part of the plate for strike one.
That's how they got him last time, Ty. Remember, he went 3-0, then they went inside fastball and then outside. He was a little behind that outside fastball.
The 0-1, it is a hard ground ball right back up the middle on the off speed. Takes a couple of weird hops, and Ty.
That's a strange play.
Were you watching that?
Yeah, let me tell you exactly what happened here, Tyler. So there's a lot happening here. That ball on the ground goes towards the pitcher. Looks like Cannon's going to get it. Then it ricochets like a ramp off the mound and takes a weird hop to second. And he doesn't handle it because it's a high hop off his glove, bounces into the shortstop's hand. By the time it gets there, you look, and Hafen is rolling halfway down the first base because he tripped over, the line, if you will, over there on the dirt. He just kind of stumbled with his footing, and he had kind of given up on the play, Tyler. So he started trotting down there, but the first baseman got pulled off by the throw. So when the ball got there, it was kind of like let's both just reach our feet over at first and see who gets there first. And Colden got there before everyone else, and ends up being safe on what I'm going to call the most bizarre single that I've seen in a long time.
It's a single
I
for
do think
Hafen.
it was a single there, Tyler. Took some bizarre hops on the way through up the middle.
Do you remember Rookie of the Year, where the kid breaks his arm and then ends up pitching for the Cubs? And there's the home run that's hit into the outfield, and then Henry throws it home all the way from the outfield, and then they're both at home, and they all will look. And
that's exactly what it felt like.
That's what it was like, as first baseman and Hafen both end up at first base kind of looking at each other. And remember, Hafen's kind of been dealing with some lower body injuries this year, and Coach McCoy's walked over just to make sure he's okay. Well, he's safe one way, and they'll bring up Bridger Shaw, who walked in his first at bat.
Probably what hurts the most is the pride on that one. You're going to have to come back to the dugout and face the team giving you the business after you trip going down the bases.
Again, with all the moisture that's been handed this field, there's probably some quicksand spots here on this field.
You've seen it.
Well.
You saw it. You called it earlier when Mahoney was trying to tag, and now you just saw that one there from Colton. You could see his foot mark there about halfway down the line right now, Tyler. There's a pretty good chunk of dirt out there.
Low for ball one here to Shaw. Shaw and RBI in a double during region play.
You don't get a lot of contact in baseball, Tyler. What's the most contact you feel like you've seen out here when you've been calling baseball games? So it's had a bizarre one a few years ago where Brock Cloward lost some teeth, right?
Yeah.
Over at third base.
Yeah.
On I think it was on a tag, wasn't it?
Right. I can't remember much. A couple of usually you get some contact at home, but I can't remember in our games there being much contact at home. Swing and a miss, strike one here to Shaw with a 1-0 count, now a 1-1 count.
Another really good player for Wasatch, if you remember Josh Darrow, Tyler, from a few years back, shortstop. He had his nose broken by Jaron Hall when Jaron Hall was playing baseball and hit a rocket to shortstop, and it took this pre-Wasatch turf when that thing would pinball around. Yeah. And Josh is a prime example of why they needed turf, because that thing took a bad hop, about 100 miles an hour off the bat, and hit him in the nose, and he was off to the hospital.
1-1, off-speed pitch, gets the outside corner for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Remember the McCord Larson, who was amazing on the mound. He put him over at third base, and he got not to an injury contact, but he would just body up the ball
like
over at third
Gilmore,
base.
Right, when he'd step in. Fouled off there from Bridger.
Fouled off.
I don't think Bridger fouled that off.
He was walking back to the dugout.
It tipped something and came off the catcher's glove.
Well, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Not a big lead for Hafen over at first base. Cannon has tried to pick off 3 times, goes back to the off speed and stays upstairs for ball 2.
Yeah, when you say McCord and Happy Gilmore, Tyler, it was that scene when Happy Gilmore gets into the batting cages and says there's only 364 my days till hockey tryouts and is getting drilled.
Just starts
That's how
taking
McCord would take balls at third base. Wouldn't even use his glove. He would just chest it and then pick it up and throw it over there.
First base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Here to Shaw. Another pickoff move over to Hafen. Not in time. The 2-2. Goes back to the off speed and gets him on the outside corner. 4 strike 3. That's going to be the 3rd strikeout of the game for Cannon. And that's now going to put 2 outs on the scoreboard and bring up Blake Sweat, who also walked in his first at bat.
Yeah, you know I like my pitchers, Tyler, and I think that's good for the umpire to reward that pitch. Hit the spot on the outside part. It definitely, when it made it to the catcher's glove, it's off the plate. But I think it caught the edge of the plate as it was cutting across. That's not a strike.
That one's below the knees and a little bit outside, but gets a called strike here to Sweat. Since the first inning, though, Cannon has settled down tied. 3 walks in that first inning. Wasatch left the bases loaded, and Cannon has settled down and has looked good on the mound since.
That's what that does, though. That pitch that Blake just swung at, when you start expanding the zone as the umpire, you are guessing as a hitter up there, and I feel like Blake swinging at that one is a direct result of that low outside call on that first strike.
It's an 0-2 count now. Hafen creeping over at first base. He goes back to the off speed, freezes him, and that's going to be strike 3. 4 strikeouts now on the day for Cannon. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1's left on base. 2-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd.
Hungry for mouth-watering all-American comfort food? Look no further. Chubby's has just opened in Heber Valley, bringing you award-winning burgers and cheesesteaks made from 100% premium black Angus beef. With 9 Utah locations, our family-owned and operated restaurant knows how to satisfy your cravings. And don't forget to treat yourself to our delicious desserts. Come taste the difference today at Chubby's, located at 220 North Main Street. Chubby's Cafe, your neighborhood destination for the food you crave.
Hi, this is Corbin Gordon from Gordon Law Group. I commonly get approached by people with the same question. Hey, do you guys do a particular type of law? The answer is almost always, yeah, we do that. We are the Valley's only full-service law firm that has been in business for over 20 years. We have 5 experienced attorneys who do estate work, litigation, business formation, real estate, water law, divorce, criminal defense, and many others. Gordon Law Group, yeah, we do that.
Hey, Heber Valley, whether you're cheering on our high school team or enjoying a day in our beautiful valley, our community is stronger when we love local. Our local businesses are the heartbeat of Heber Valley, from your favorite cafe to the shop on the corner. When you shop local, you're supporting your neighbors and investing in the future of our community. So next time you're out and about, show some love. Shop, dine, and explore right here in Heber Valley. Brought to you by the Heber Valley Chamber of Commerce. Remember, love local. It makes all the difference. Visit gohebervalley.com/shop.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the 3rd, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, your one-stop shop for gas, groceries, and goodies, located at 2nd North Main in Camas on your way at Mirror Lake Station Highway. Winners of Best In-State Donuts. It's top of the order up for the Thunderbirds here in the bottom of the 3rd, trailing 2-0. It'll be Max Clark, followed by Clevin and Weed. 1-0 the count here to Clark, who singled in his first at-bat, is 3 for 5 in the series. Comes in hitting above 400 on the year. He'll take ball 2 as well. Lefty in on the left-hand side of the batter's box. Livingston out of the stretch, misses again. 3-0 now the count.
Well, Ty, you can see his momentum there on delivery. He wasn't driving through that one. That front leg kind of floating through and wandering off to the side, and that one missing high and outside because he's not finishing the delivery.
Misses again, and that'll be the 2nd walk of the day. Going back to that Springville outing, Ty, he walked the first 2 batters and then settled down and didn't walk another batter the rest of the game.
Yeah, all that's going on right now, it's an easy fix for Max, Tyler. If you could draw an imaginary line down the pitcher's mound, just get a piece of tape or something and draw it all the way down, and just tell Max, hey, have your heel go all the way down this line when you push. He'd be throwing a lot of strikes right now. Right now, it's just a balance issue, Tyler. As he's throwing, that glove hand is opening up, it's flaring open his shoulder, and then getting the right hand to come by to the release point is just tough because you're working against the part of your body that's pulling you away. He's just got to stay inside and keep the shoulders closed and drive down the mound.
That one in the dirt. Dahl does a good job fielding the short hop, and that's going to bring a trip to the mound from Coach McCoy. in the right inning, Ty. Our inning sponsored by Mirror Lake Station, also our sponsors of our timeouts.
It's all scripted, right?
All
You're
scripted.
saying the game, just a script
Sure.
here? A few years ago, that was big in the NFL, right? The script.
Is it a few years ago, or is it still? I mean.
Well, did they script that crappy Super Bowl this year? Because that's not good.
You can only script so much of getting the Chiefs to the Super Bowl, let alone having them try to win the Super Bowl.
You're all into the sports conspiracies?
No, not at all.
Well, it'd be kind of fun. What's your best sports conspiracy?
Best sports conspiracy, that the NBA draft is rigged. How about that one?
Oh, yeah, the Patrick Ewing lottery, the frozen envelope.
Yeah. So you have Patrick Ewing going to the Knicks. You have Wembanyama going to the Spurs. LeBron going to the Cavs. Like all of those. I think that's a pretty good one. So
yeah, that's good.
So this year, who's the best fit for Cooper Flagg to go to? And it's an easy answer. Where's the kid from?
North
Maine.
Carolina?
No, Maine. So he's from Maine, went to Duke, but he's from Maine. Philadelphia's pretty close to Maine, right? Philadelphia's a pretty good.
Yeah, the Sixers would. If the Sixers win it,
Philadelphia's a pretty big market, right? So that's where he's going to go. Embiid, Paul George, and Cooper
I heard
Flagg.
someone suggest the Wizards, but that's where careers go to die, right? Like
the where? Wizards?
The Wizards.
Yeah, there's no chance he's going to the Wizards. If he goes to the Wizards, it's definitely not rigged. How about that? Strike one here.
Jazz.
Yeah, exactly. 1-1, another swing and a miss, strike two. So after the timeout, Livingston comes back with back-to-back strikes. Here to Zeke Clevin.
I'm so embarrassed for the Jazz. I heard an ad on their radio today encouraging them, to get good karma, good vibes for this lottery, to donate $2.
Oh, he gets on the pickoff. Nice job here from Livingston. Clark was going, and a rundown now ensues. Stocking's going to go back, flips it to Livingston, and Wasatch has the first out. Nice job there from Livingston. Oh. Interesting call here, and Coach McCoy wants an explanation as well. They're actually going to give him second base.
They're going to call a balk?
Did they call a balk? Well, if they did call the balk, this umpire's made some loud calls out there on safe calls. Be a little bit louder. Wet field, running back and forth where some injuries can happen. Right now as it stands, it's 1-2, nobody out and a runner on second base, but Coach McCoy wants an explanation. Great pickoff move from Livingston. Didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see it, Ty, and I haven't officially seen the balk as a call here. Just a guess at this point why they would call him safe. Because the only other thing you see in the pickle is Coach McCoy doesn't look satisfied with that answer, Tyler. The only things you see in the pickle is usually when the runner comes out of the base path, then you see a call like that, but you don't see it defensively called against a team. So I just assume it must have been a balk.
Interesting. 1-2 the count. It's going to move a runner in scoring position. Clevin with 5 at-bats. Clevin with 5 at-bats in the series has yet to put a ball in play. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks for the senior. Has scored. Good lead here from Clark. This one's going to be swung on, elevated right on top of Livingston. Mahoney's going to go ahead and call him off, make the play from first base, 1 away.
That's a great job from Max to come back. It's easy to get emotional in that moment, Tyler. You can see your head coach a little bit upset coming off the field. And to start kind of begging for calls, no, not Max. Just get up there, throw a good strike, good effective pitch, and get the out. Finish my thought here real quick, Ty. The Jazz were, begging for good karma to donate $2 to a good cause. I think it was primary children's, but they were saying, $2 was the uniform number of Cooper Flagg is 2, isn't it? Wasn't he number 2?
Yeah, I think so.
And so, you donate $2. They're going to get the number 1 draft pick, draft number 2. I didn't donate $2.
And I'm not going to donate $2. Not in that cause. 1 away. It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Tyler Wheat. Flew out to left field to Blake Sweat in his last at bat. He'll swing at the first pitch, foul it off. So 0-1 the count. Make it a 1-1 count. That one misses high and outside for ball 1. Wasatch has been competitive. 3, 4, and 5 are really good for Timpview, and they've been able to keep them at bay, even with runners in scoring position. But Wasatch in trouble here with the runner in scoring position. 1-1, the number 3 hitter up. Trying to hold on to that 2-0 lead. Livingston, couple of looks, goes back inside, gets the rollover ground ball. It's a slow roller to Stocking. He's going to have to get rid of it quick. Does so in time to Mahoney at first, and Wasatch has 2 away, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Will Cannon, who grounded out to Bridgershaw at third base in his first at bat.
That might have been the best pitch of the year from Max, Tyler. That one was such a good pitch. Appeared like a fastball coming out of the hand, and got Weed out there out in front looking fastball. And then as that ball got about 5 to 10 feet away from the plate, it bit hard coming down at the bottom half of the plate. And left-handed Weed, it's coming at his back ankle, and that thing bit hard and just pounded that ball into the ground to second base. It's a great pitch.
First pitch is going to be swung on and fouled off to the left field side for strike one. Runner did advance to third base, as mentioned, on the ground ball. So runner on third, 2 outs. Livingston comes set, delivers the 0-1, goes back to the off speed at the belt for strike two. 0-2 now the count.
Yeah, that's a strike, Ty, but I'm not sure I'd want to go back to that one. That's a hanging curveball that if you go back to that 2 times in a row, that thing could be flying. Cannon just wasn't looking for it, Tyler. He was looking fastball.
The 0-2 tries to go back inside and gets him swinging. Big-time strikeout there from Max Livingston and Gravity Coalition. Third strikeout of the game, none bigger than that one. No runs scored on no hits, no errors. Another runner is left on base. It's still 2-0 going into the fourth.
A home equity line of credit from UCCU makes it easy to access the equity in your home. And right now, UCCU is offering home equity lines of credit with no fees or closing costs. With increased home values, there is more equity to use for whatever you need. A wedding, a remodel, or whatever comes up. It's your equity, so it's entirely up to you. Start your application or learn more at uccu.com. Low rates, no fees, faster than ever. UCCU, love where you bank.
Big O Tires in Heber is your one-stop shop for tires and service. What was once Point S is now Big O Tires. Same service, but different name. We're locally owned and operated and want to help you get your vehicle ready to road trip this summer. Stop in for all your name brand tires, oil changes, alignments, brakes, batteries, shocks, struts, and a whole lot more. Plus, Big O Tires offers financing options to fit any budget or any situation. Visit us today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Fourth inning action brought to you by Heber Appliance. When it's fourth down and your fridge goes out, turn your letdown into a touchdown at Heber Appliance. Increase your at-home satisfaction. With Heber Appliance Furniture and Mattress, we are your hometown team.
Ty, I know we had to go away to a break, but we can't let that pitch sequence go. I mean, that was so good from Max. We got to return to that a little bit. The curveball that was for strike two is what you would call a hanging curveball, Tyler. That's one that hitters hit out the park. And so as a hitter, Cannon, who, again, comes in hitting over 550 into this series, he's got to be just lighting up, looking for a curveball on the next one. And Max comes back with a hard two-seamer that's cutting in on the inside part of the plate. It was just such a good pitch. It overpowered Cannon because of the pitch before. It was just a great example, changing speeds, changing location, and getting a huge strikeout.
It's going to be Dahl, Bluth, and Stocking. 7-8-9 up for Wasatch here in the top of the fourth. Wasatch leads 2-0. We talk a lot about keys to the win, Ty. How about the series? Cannon, you mentioned it, 555, over 20 RBIs on the season. Dahl's going to swing at the 2-0 pitch. That's going to be a base knock into left field, and Wasatch has the leadoff guy on base on the single from Dahl.
Yeah, nice little line drive there from the catcher. Going to get a speed up with his younger brother Tyson coming in.
Going back to my thought, Ty, Cannon, again, 555 coming into the series, 20 plus RBIs and 10 extra base hits. Every time he's come up, Ty, there has been a man on base, and Wasatch has been able to keep him to 1 for 5 in the series. And the one did bring in the 1 RBI, but a very kind of subtle key there is Wasatch has been good against the heart of the lineup of Timpview on the mound.
That's a great stat, Tyler, because if you're Timpview, that's how you're drawing it up. You want your best guy coming up with runners in scoring position. Wasatch has just been better. They've executed with better pitching.
Not a big lead over at first base from Tyson Dahl, who's the courtesy runner for Micah. Long pause from Cannon on the mound. Delivers on the slide step. Misses below the knees for ball 1. Eddie Blue struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Ty mentioned 273 on the season, but he is hitting 400 in region play. That's second best on the team in region play. Only behind Fowler, who's hitting 471. Has 5 runs scored in the 5 games that they've had and a .625 on-base percentage for Eddie Bluth. He's been really good in that 8 spot for Wasatch. Swing and a miss here is going to move the count to 1-1.
Yeah, you're far enough into the season now, and Coach McCoy's been good about sticking with his lineups, not moving around too much, Ty, that, yeah, this is a sophomore, his first year playing varsity, but he's an experienced player at this point. 15 games in, he's seen a lot of pitching, a lot of reps, and you're seeing that come into play with that region average coming up. Preseason, first time seeing the speed of a varsity game down a little bit, but he's adjusting quickly here in his sophomore season.
Wasatch was able to run at ease, really, yesterday in game one of this series. Cannon doing a pretty good job of controlling the base runners. Runner is going to go, though. Swing and a miss, and Dahl is going to be hosed at second base. Good job again from Cannon of controlling the base pass. And Wasatch now with one away, as Wasatch caught stealing for the first time in the series.
Ty, it must have been a hit and run. Because otherwise, if you're Tyson, you got to break that thing down. He didn't have a good jump at all. And Eddie swinging at it, I do think it was a hit and run. But when that ball got by Eddie, there was just no chance for Tyson. The ball was delivered before he was halfway there.
2 balls, 2 strikes now as that one misses high and outside. 2-2, 1 away. Wasatch trying to get things back going. Not able to take advantage of the leadoff single. The 2-2 goes to the off speed, misses high, and that'll fill up the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
As a coach, kind of what you teach those runners, Tyler, if it's a straight still, is a good lead, good read, and a good jump. And if you don't have all 3 of those, you break it down and you wait for another pitch to try to run on. Hit and run, though, you don't have that same luxury.
Nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. Gets blue swinging again. That's second strikeout of the day there for Eddie. And Wasatch now with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. It's going to bring up Kyron Stocking. Popped out to the first baseman. He as well, Ty, has had a great region series. His average has actually gone down, a .273 batting average, but 5 runs scored and 5 RBIs in the 5 region games. Also has an on-base percentage of .467 and is currently hitting .345 on the year. First pitch misses outside. 4-1. One ball. No strikes. The pitch to Stocking. That one's in there. It's going to be a hard ground ball to the second baseman, who gets over, though, fields it cleanly, throws it to first in time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Timpview as Cannon has settled down, and no runs on 1 hit, no errors. Nobody's left on base. 2-0 going into the bottom of the 4th.
Hi, this is Kendall Crittenden, Wasatch County Council member and a member of the Caring Community Coalition. Did you know that kids are at a greater risk of experimenting with alcohol and drugs between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m.? Many parents are still at work this time of day. Check in with your kids. Find out where your kids will be, who they'll be with, and what they will be doing. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Caring Community Coalition.
Are you ready for lunch? Well, the Dairy King, home of the train, is serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley and have been the winner of Best of State for 20 years. They've recently been named the best of Utah for their milkshakes. You've got to try their delicious train burger with an Oreo shake. They also have those yummy salads that just hit the spot, or a turkey breast sandwich that tickles the taste buds. They've proudly been serving the Heber Valley for 78 years at the Dairy King, home of the train, serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 4th brought to you by Bonnie Joseph Academy, dedicated to providing the highest quality education to students and making sure they are fully prepared for a successful career in the beauty industry at Bonnie Joseph Academy. 2-0. Max Livingston has thrown a so far shutout, giving up only 2 hits, 2 walks, and has struck out 4. He's got 5, 6, 7 up here. It's going to be a hard ground ball to Shaw. Shaw fields it cleanly, waits for Mahoney to cover first base, throws it across the diamond in time for the first out on 1 pitch.
Another good job there from Max, throwing strikes. Bridger, great glove at third. He's been excellent over there all year, but I'm going to start giving him a hard time if I'm Grant. Say, hey, stop making me stretch so much. That one again, a short hop over there, Grant. 3 straight ones from Bridger that aren't making it home. Go ahead and throw that thing over there, big fella.
It's going to bring up Jordan Christensen, walked in his first at bat. Senior's going to lay down the drag bunt. This is going to be a tough play for Shaw, who barehands it, throws it across the diamond in time. What a play from Bridger Shaw. The barehanded on-the-run throw on the drag bunt, and Wasatch has 2 away.
Yeah, like that, Bridger. Throw it over there like that, right? Just gun it. Stop thinking. That was a fantastic play.
Country Garden and Nursery Play of the Game nominee for sure. Country Garden and Nursery, your locally owned and operated plant nursery, has everything you need for your gardens, and don't forget to stop by their indoor plant and decor shop as well. Jackson Davis is going to come up to the plate, struck out looking in his first at bat. The junior is going to take ball 1 above the belt. That one misses low and inside for ball 2. The 2-0 got him, and that'll be the first hit by pitch of the game, and Timpview will have their first base runner of the inning with 2 away, and it'll bring up the number 8 hitter, True Anderson, Jr., who popped out to the first baseman in his first at-bat.
Here's a tough one for you, Ty. What's the better play in the series, Braxton Fowler's backhand yesterday or that drag bunt from Bridger Shaw? Got some cousins over there playing third and short. See who you're going to give the nod to.
I'm going to give the nod to Bridger on that, Ty.
Anytime
you go bare hand, I just think that is a tough play. Although that ball was deep in the hole.
Yeah, Ty, but
it's tough to make that decision.
Probably the kicker is one's on turf and one's on a wet grass
that's the other thing I was
field,
going to say. Yeah.
Coming hard, do or die. That one from Bridger. Oh, got him.
Another pickoff move. That's pickoff that time. There's no balk, and Wasatch has the pickoff, and they get out of the inning. No runs on, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. It's still 2-0 going into the 5th.
We at Guild Mortgage help people build personal wealth through real estate, be it your first home, next home, dream home, or investment property. At Guild Mortgage, we help you refinance for that lower interest rate, shorter term, or home remodel. At Guild Mortgage, we help you plan for retirement by owning multiple investment properties and can even add to your retirement plan with a reverse mortgage. We at Guild Mortgage believe everyone can own what matters.
Timberline Ace Hardware is committed to helping their neighbors and their communities, and because they're in the neighborhood, they can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in store, curbside, or they'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock with people that know how to help. Timberline Ace Hardware, serving the community for over 50 years.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the 5th, brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Your loan officer, Tom Stone, is committed to helping his clients understand their options for real estate financing and assisting them to make solid home loan decisions that meet your needs. Top of the order up for Wasatch. It'll be Brown, Fowler, Mahoney. Brown is 1 for 2 on the game today. He's going to swing at this one and goes the opposite way through the 5-6 hole for the second hit of the day for Brown. He now has 4 hits in the series. Had 2 hits yesterday and scored. And he has 2 hits now today.
Heard a lot about Austin coming into this season, Tyler, and you've been able to see all the talents on display. Great glove in center, great speed going around the bases. You saw the power down in St. George. But his bat has developed so well. That ball is rocketed to the opposite side of the field, Tyler. And that, if he can do that, he can hit home runs to the opposite side of the field. If you can start staying inside of the ball and drive it that way, he's just going to have a huge career.
Fowler a little bit ahead of that one. It's going to be elevated to center field. Center fielder will settle underneath it, make the play for the first out of the inning. He's had a nice region series as well, Ty. 350 in region play, 5 runs scored, 5 RBIs, 3 extra base hits. Leads the team with runs scored, leads the team with RBIs.
Austin you're talking about?
Yeah, Austin leads the team with extra base knocks. Yeah, Fowler swung at the first pitch. Didn't even get a chance to talk about his region tie. 471 in region play, 2 doubles, 4 runs scored, 5 RBIs, and a 500 on base percentage. But a 471 region at batting average for Fowler.
Yeah, he's had a hot bat here lately, Ty, to put it mildly.
Going to bring up Grant Mahoney. He'll take strike 1. 0-1 the count with 1 away. Wasatch scored 2 in the first, but have had goose egg since. Little pitching duel down here at Timpview High.
Well, Timpview's expecting some motion here, Ty.
Another slide step delivery from Cannon is going to be too far outside. 1-1 now the count.
Several pickoffs here to start this at bat, and then on that first pitch, the catcher was coming up ready to throw, even though there was no motion.
And again, a wet infield, Ty, so it's a little bit harder to get some jumps. Wasatch not with big leads over at first base. Also hard to slide on the wet clay. 1-1 the count. Cannon sets, will deliver. It's going to be fisted to the second baseman. Double play opportunity here, 4-6-3. Also, not in time at first base. So the fielder's choice ground out will give Wasatch 2 outs and Mahoney safe at first.
Good hustle down the line there from Grant. Shortstop took just a little hitch, Tyler, to try to put some extra zip on it, and it cost him. Needed to deliver that ball quicker. They had plenty of time, Tyler. It's a tailor-made ball. Shortstop's just got to release it quicker.
He's going to bring up Colton Hafen, singled up the middle in his last at-bat. Struck out in his first at-bat. He's now 1 for 4 in region plays. They've been dealing with injuries. No conversation here between the umpire and assistant coach for Wasatch. Hafen on the season, a .333 batting average, but a .611 on-base percentage. 5 strikeouts on the day for Cannon. Wasatch has had leadoff singles each of the last 2 innings and not able to take advantage. That one's in there for strike 1. 0-1's going to be a high chopper right in front of the bat. Catcher's going to pounce, going to go over to first base. Nice play from the catcher, Myers. And Wasatch is retired. Once again, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner's left on base. We'll go into the bottom of the 5th, still 2-0. Oh, no, we'll stick it here for the 5th inning stretch, brought to you by, once again, Guild Mortgage. Stop on in, Tom Stone. Very experienced, no pressure. Stop on in to get educated. Ty, throw it over to you for our Gordon Law Group game summary.
Well, the summary starts with Max Livingston, who's been unbelievable, Tyler. 4 innings pitched, only 48 pitches on the day. Been very, very efficient on the day. Scattered 2 hits. Both of those were leadoff hits as well, leading off the first and second inning for Timpview with hits. And then Max was able to keep them there on base, working out of jams with runners in scoring position in both innings. Max has 3 strikeouts on the day. He has walked 2, and he's hit 1 batter, but he's been able to leave 4 on base. It's been an excellent game here for Max. Wasatch got 2 runs in the top of the first as they got a leadoff single from Brown. He was able to eventually come in as Fowler got a hit. Well, that's a little aggressive, Tyler. Fowler put the ball in play to third base, and they made an error, allowing Brown to come in. And then Braxton eventually was able to come around and score himself, and Wasatch took a 2-0 lead. But Wasatch did leave 3 on base in that inning, and haven't had many opportunities since then. 4 hits on the day for Wasatch. They've been scattered over their 5 innings coming to the plate. But 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Timpview, 0 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. And the story has certainly been Max Livingston on the mound today for Wasatch.
Game summary brought to you by the Gordon Law Group, your full-service local law firm who invests in their clients the best knowledge and experience needed for all areas of the law. Bottom of the 5th, it's going to be 8-9-1 up for the Thunderbirds. It'll be True Anderson, followed by Ty Wester, then back up to the top of the order to Max Clark. Anderson popped out to first base in his first at-bat. Yesterday, Anderson walked, hit by pitch, and a pop out to the second baseman. So 0 for 2 in the series.
That pickoff was a big one that last inning, Tyler. I mean, you look at starting 8-9-1 as opposed to 9-1-2 with this Timpview lineup. That's a big difference. Now, their 9-hitter had a great swing in his first at-bat, so it's not like these are automatic outs down here at 8-9, but we know what the top of this Timpview lineup is, Tyler. It's 6 home runs. It's 30-plus doubles and triples combined together. I mean, they can swing it.
That one is going to be fouled off behind us for strike 1. It's a 1-1 count now. One ball, 1 strike to the number 8 hitter, the junior for Timpview. Pitch is going to be swung on, goes down to get it, and that one's going to fall in front of the center fielder, Brown, for a base knock. 3rd hit of the day for the Thunderbirds. And you said it, Ty, all coming in the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
Had a leadoff hit in the top of the first, a leadoff hit in the top of the second, and now a leadoff hit here in the top of the 5th.
Well, intriguing here to see what they do, Ty. Probably try to bunt and move this over with the number 9 hitter up, but he had one of your better barrels with 1, 2, 3 coming up.
Oh, they're not going to need it as Livingston's going to let that one get away from him. And if you're Timpview, this is the perfect storm. 8-9, get on base with a single and a hit by pitch. And now you're going to the top of the order where Clark has reached both times, singled up the middle and walked. He's got 3 hits in the series.
Yeah, Ty, if you revisit our keys to the game, just because Wasatch is up 2-0 doesn't we've got plenty of game left here, Ty. And we talked about the free ones, right, that Timpview could capitalize if you give them free ones. That now all of a sudden becomes the 5th free pass of the game after that hit by pitch, and this is where it becomes dangerous.
First and second, nobody out. They are going to square. It's going to be Clark. He tries to get too cute with it. It's going to go foul down the third base side for strike one.
Yeah, but Ty, that's okay on that pitch. I think if you're Timpview to try to sneak a base hit off of that, he's trying to put it fine down the line because your third baseman's trying to stay home. Your pitcher has to come all the way over to field that. And so if you can get that down the line, you're going to blow this open to a big inning.
No balls, one strike.
Now you don't get cute. You got a strike on it. You got to get it down now. So if you're going to turn the square, you just put it out in play, advance the runners over.
Timeout's actually going to be called from Fowler. I think a little bit of maybe picking the signs there at second base. And so they're going to reset the signs, keep the count at 0-1 with runners on first and second, nobody out. Wasatch leading 2-0. Stockton playing deep in the hole, in the 3-4 hole on the right side. Fowler up the middle, trying to keep the runner close at second, doing a good job. The 0-1 swings at one out of the zone for strike two. Ball's going to ricochet all the way back to Livingston almost after hitting the wood backstop.
Yeah, you surprised they let him swing there, Ty, after trying to lay a bunt down on the first one? He is 2 for 2 on the day.
No balls, 2 strikes. Livingston comes set again, working out of the stretch. Not big leads around the diamond here for Timpview. It's a 3 look for Livingston. Delivers, swung on. It's right back to the pitcher. He fields it. It's going to throw it to second base. Fowler's able to get the foot on the bag. And so now runners on the corners, one away.
Well, if you're greedy, you'd rather get that guy going to third, of course, Tyler, and they had a chance. Max caught that, but the momentum was pulling him away. He was coming down the mound away from third base, and good heads-up play there to at least get the other lead runner here. Right now you keep the tying run 2 hits away, or you need an extra base hit to get them in, Tyler. So that's good to get the lead runner. Obviously 2 would have been better, but good heads-up play there from Max.
It's going to bring up Zeke Clevin, who popped out at the first baseman in his last at-bat. That's the first ball he had in play. He has 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a pop out to the pitcher in his 6 ABs he's had in the series. That one misses low for ball 1. To reset it, 2-0 the score. Wasatch leads here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 away, runners on the corners for Timpview.
And to state the obvious, you've got a double play in order that could end this inning to work out of a jam.
Pickoff move. Livingston's had 2 pickoffs. The one, we're still not quite sure why they allowed him to go to second base, but did get the pickoff in the last inning. Another pickoff move there does not get them in time. So 1-0 the count. Clark, good speed over at first base. Expect some movement there. The 1-0 swung on. It's going to be a high chopper to Bridger. Bridger's going to try to come home and makes the play at the plate. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Nice play there from Bridger Shaw.
Bridger's been so good, Ty. Been so good all game long. That's his 3rd fantastic play. There's a little extra talk there after that one, Tyler. Micah kind of sought out. I don't know if he was going for the tag, but he went over afterwards.
They're definitely the slight attempt from Timpview was not. It's questionable, I think, Ty.
He kind of got into the plow mode.
Exactly,
right?
And I think Dahl probably said something to him, and then there was a response there from the Thunderbirds.
Well, there's a couple things at play, though, Tyler. If you're a catcher coming over, you can't block the plate either, right? You got to go on the line, and then you become like a middle infielder, right? And you're sweeping down to tag there. And I don't have the best angle, but to my eyes, it looked like Micah was directly in the line as well, Tyler. Right. And so if you're the runner, you do have a little bit of a right to come through there. So you've got a lot going on at play. In fact, just get a little nerdy while we got a minute. Catchers in that situation, you've got to come out and clear to give your fielder a path to throw it in. And what you teach them is the left foot of the catcher should go right on the outside part of the chalk. And then they receive that, and then you sweep down the legs through the runner as they're coming through and try to put the tag on them. That one more looked like Max patrolling like a bouncer at home plate, right, standing in front of home plate. But they have made the out call, Ty, so officially it's a big out there for Wasatch to get the lead runner at home.
It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Tyler Weed. He's 0 for 2 today. He flew out to left field, grounded out to the second baseman. Does have 1 hit on the series. It was a triple over the right fielder's head. So there's still the tying run on first base. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Nice place from Bridger there at third to get the runner out at home.
Well, it's not over yet, Ty. Weed, I believe, leads the team
24
in home
RBIs.
Runs.
Well, yeah,
24 RBIs.
24 RBIs, I believe, and 3 home runs on the season.
Could give the T-Birds the lead with 1 swing.
Misses outside for ball 1. Lefty playing first base, I believe. Yes, first base today for the Thunderbirds with Cannon on the mound. Two looks from Livingston at second base. Delivers the 1-0. Gets him to swing and miss at 1 on the outside part of the plate. 1-1 now the count.
But you can see he's looking to get those hands extended and get something that he can pull, Tyler. And that's a great job from Max to not give him that pitch. That one, a two-seamer working off the outer half of the plate, breaking away from Weed, and he was stiff. Tyler never had a chance on that pitch. They're going back out there again for this one.
Bluth playing really deep in right field. Goes by the off speed. It's a check swing. It's going to be a high bouncer to Fowler. Fowler's going to have to get rid of it. Does so in time, and Wasatch once again gets out of the inning after the first 2 guys get on.
Ty, that pitch from Max again is so good. He recognized that Weed was trying to pull one over to the left side of the field, and so they went way outside, and you can see he's just not comfortable with it. A pull hitter, a check swing is definitely the worst thing you can have there if you're Timpview, right? You want to offer a good swing at that, but it's all Livingston on the mound because he's locating and not giving him something to get the hands through.
That'll do it for the 5th. It's Wasatch 2, Timpview 0 as we go into the 6th here on 94.5 The Peak.
Hey Wasatch, it's Nicole with Mountain Refined. We are so excited to be supporting our local teams and all the sports that you guys are into. We wanted you to know a little piece of what we have. You can come on down, grab teacher gifts, protein powder, and even rent that tuxedo for junior prom. Did you guys know that? Shop local and support us. We love being a part of this community. Go Wasatch, 480 North Main Street, right here in Heber.
Never know how. Never know how.
You'll always find the best deals and expert service at your local Napa Auto Parts store. We offer expert service in helping you find the parts you're looking for your current project, as well as Milwaukee tools. We can also help you with most motorsport, RV, and vehicle battery needs at your local Napa Auto Parts store in Heber City.
Never know how. Never know how. Never know how. Never know how.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the 6th brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in the Heber Valley. Stop on into their store in Midway or visit them at their website at gravitycoalition.com. It'll be Bridger Shaw, Blake Sweat, Mike Dahl. Shaw's going to swing at the first pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman. He'll field it cleanly, throw it across the diamond in time for the first out of the inning. Wasatch has produced 7 base runners, has left 5 stranded. Only 4 hits on the day. Blake Sweat will step into the box. Walked in his first at bat, struck out in his second. First pitch is going to be low and outside on the off speed for ball 1.
After going 40 pitches in the first inning for Cannon, Tyler, the next 4.1 is only thrown 42 pitches.
Conversation happening here between the umpire and the catcher.
Well, they want to check a pitch that's a ridiculous one to check over here, right? So the catcher's asking, the umpire's saying, I'll check. You don't need to do it. Getting a little touchy behind home
Catcher
plate.
said something or used a tone that the umpire did not appreciate and confronted the catcher on it.
Blake's having a good laugh over here. I'm watching his reaction, Tyler, and he's enjoying the show that's going on at home plate right now.
Well, a little bit of emotion going back to the last inning, Ty. To recap, Timpview had runners on first and third, 1 out. A high chopper to Shaw. Runner broke for home. Shaw made a great play, threw a strike at home. And there's a conversation between Mike, I believe, and the base runner that brought both coaches to the umpire. And now conversation here between the umpire and the Timpview head coach. Ty, we were talking before the game how it's the unique sport of baseball is that the coaches have to meet with the umpire before the game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that on basketball. You don't see that in football. And part of the reason why is because the home team's head coach has to explain the ground rules of a baseball field, because every baseball field is designed differently. You have shorter fences and some longer fences. The foul territory is all different. So, for example, here at Timpview, the dugouts kind of go into the field instead of off the field, and you have a tarp over down the left field line. And so you have to explain to the umpire, if the ball goes into the tarp, here's the rules. And you don't have to do that in any other sport besides baseball. But if you could implement that, because it is a different, yes, it's in foul territory, but it's still part of the playing field, right? So if you had to, like, put some ground rules on a football field, right? Like,
well,
the goalpost technically is off the field.
Yeah.
So what if you could move the
goalposts
goal
off the field,
or off the field even further? So, like, our field goal posts are going to be 5 yards further back, like when we had
move
Skylar
the hashes
Southam
around, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you have a left-hander. We're going to have the
you've got a guy that can kick well, so
Move
the extra
field goal
point
less.
that becomes important.
Yeah.
You move it 30 yards back
Sure.
in football.
Something like that.
Well, that's an intriguing thing. How about I can fix the NBA, Tyler? If you can move the three-point line wherever you want, right? That's your home court advantage. The Warriors can put it out 35 feet or whatever, because Steph can bomb it there and no one else is going to make a three, right? Like,
exactly.
Let's let you get a real home court advantage by manipulating that. Would you like to see baseball go to uniform fields? I think it's part of the fun of baseball is having
definitely.
unique fields like at
I
Fenway
agree.
Park, right, or wherever. The flag that they have down in Houston. And
we are ready to play here. Blake Sweat's going to swing at the 1-0. It's going to be elevated to right field. Right fielder's going to go over and make the play on the warning track for the second out of the inning. I think you're onto something. The NBA likes to be, innovative?
Yeah.
I like the idea of you can make your own three-point line on your court.
Sure.
Like,
You can
whether
move
it's an
your
arc
three-point
or it's
line.
like a wiggly line or it's like a shorter on the left side versus the right side. Like
think of how it would change offenses, right? Offenses run plays to get to certain locations. You can't do that
Right.
if you're moving the three-point line on the court. Yeah, that could be fun.
Ooh, that one's going to go off the arm, and it's at Micah Dahl, who happens to be the catcher, Ty, that got into it a little bit with the
Entirely
Timpview.
intentional.
And I agree. I
entirely intentional.
And Dahl had some words, and the umpire's actually going to come out and have some words to Cannon, and it's the perfect situation, right? You got 2 outs, nobody on. You weren't happy with what happened in the last half of the inning, and so you're going to throw it right at the catcher.
Yeah, they're going to have a little talk about this again. You know what? If you're Wasatch, take it, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Take the base runners. You got a 2-0 lead. This is close, and if they're going to give you a free one.
Well, we're down to the final 6 outs of the game for Timpview, trying to get back in this thing.
I like it. It gives a little extra juice to this game over here, Ty.
It's going to be a little pinch hitter as well, Tyler, here, as Miguel Armendariz is going to get an at-bat, his second at-bat of this season. He walked in his only at-bat he's had. He's going to come up in the spot of Eddie Bluth, who has struck out twice today. Tyson Dahl's going to come up and be the courtesy runner for Mike Dahl, who's now reached twice, Ty. He singled in his last at-bat. A little motion here, Ty. It's great. Cold weather.
Just keep you excited over here, Ty. You know what? I know people like to get riled up. Sometimes that's a little bit of part of the game over there, right? They like to say the unwritten rules of baseball. Isn't that one of them? You gotta defend your honor out here a little bit. And Ty, it's not like he went head hunting. You hit him in the back and take a free bag. We'll move on here.
Armendariz in the box. He'll take strike one. 0-1 the count.
Different coaches have different ways of signaling in that one, Tyler. I wonder what the signal is there from Timpview on that you're going to hit him.
No balls, 1 strike. Runner on first here for Wasatch. This one misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. How about that if you're going back to our field, Ty, you had to mirror your MLB park in that. So if you're the Boston Celtics, you have one side of your three-point line that's short, representing Fenway, right, the big green monster that's shallow, and the other side's longer. Or if you're the Yankees, so the Knicks, Madison Square Garden, the corner threes are extremely short because it's a short porch in left field. Armendariz is going to swing at the 1-1. It's going to be a ground ball up the middle, and Armendariz showing off the speed. He's going to beat it out at first base, an infield single, and Wasatch has runners on first and second, 2 outs.
Good job from Miguel to get down the line there, Tyler. High enough chopper. Good enough speed with the lefty. That's not a base hit if you're right-handed coming out of the box, Tyler, but a lefty coming out, that's good.
It's going to bring up Stocking. 5 RBIs on the season. He's 0 for 2.
Just got to come back to that hit by pitch. Ty was thinking, the signal in. Just all of a sudden had a flood back of memories of I was a catcher for a while in my career and remember vividly looking over to pitching coach at one point and being a little stunned as I had two middle fingers up at me and trying to figure out what that meant for a minute. I figured it out pretty quickly what that meant, that we were supposed to hit that guy is what the pitching coach was saying. So that was their signal, is two birds. One bird was a brushback, Tyler, is what they would do. So if you just saw one middle finger, you're supposed to get them on the chin to brush them off the plate to send a message, and two, you went after them.
I have a Mirror Lake Station timeout as head coach of Timpview's out on the mound with an 0-1 count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. What do you think of my idea? You have to mirror the baseball field in your park. So, short porch and left field there at Yankee Stadium, so the left side 3-point line is in. It's a free throw over there on the left side.
Do you really want, 3-point lines that close?
Sure.
How about the free throw line? Let's reward some
you have
free throws over there.
You have inflated home run stats. Why don't you inflate the 3-point stats there for the New York Knicks?
Let's get a new leading scorer in NBA history, right? Who would benefit the most from that move? Someone like Joel Embiid, Rudy Gobert, those guys that shoot close.
That's right.
All of a sudden you're draining threes.
1-1, swing and a miss on a pitch that's tailing inside. 1-2 the count, stalking in the box with 2 outs. Runners on first and second here in the top of the 6th. Wasatch leading 2-0 already. Cannon checks the runner at second, delivers. Right at the belt for strike 3, and that'll do it for the top of the 6th. Wasatch is retired, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 more runners are left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 6th, 2-0.
Here at Country Gardens and Nursery, we hope that you feel that you are home when you are away from home as you go around our perennial floor checking out the newest and latest for beauty for your garden, as you wander into our indoor plant shop, seeing the possibility of what could be yours. Stop by Country Gardens and Nursery, your home away from home. 1401 US 189, Heber City, Utah. And don't forget to check us out on social media for quick tips and tricks throughout the season.
Chad here from Mountain West Trailers. Celebrating 20 years in business, we know you value strength and reliability. Whether it's for work or play, our dump and equipment trailers are built to last. Enclosed cargo trailers for business and fun, or open utility trailers for everything in between. With expert sales, parts, and service, we've got you covered. Mountain West Trailers is always right behind you. Visit us at mountainwesttrailer.com or stop by at 1470 South Highway 40 here in Heber.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 6th brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, your one-stop shop for gas, groceries, and goodies, located at 2nd North Main in Camas, on your way to Mirror Lake Station Highway, winners of Best in-State Donuts. Ty, I think the statute of limitations is over now that we've been out of high school as long as we have. So do you have any stories of when you did get that signal that you remember, teams, players?
Yeah, I got a few. I don't know. We had one pitcher, Tyler, that was really good at hitting people. He was and intentionally, and he threw 90 miles an hour. And it was a little more old school back then, Tyler. I got hit 6 times by one team over the course of about a 4-game series. So it was a little different time. But, this kid was asked to hit a couple in the head, and he delivered in the head, Tyler. And so that was a little bit crazy and scary.
Number 4 hitter Cannon up in the box, takes ball 1, then swings at an off-speed pitch. It's popped up to Bridger Shaw at third base. Wasatch continuing to pitch well here against the meat of the Timpview lineup.
Just the finishing part of that story, after he hit the kid in the head, he ended up playing in college with the kid on the same team, and so they had to relive that little rivalry between the two of them.
Fun story we have with hitting people. This isn't intentional, but we have another word, like the immaculate inning, is that what it's called, where you get 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts?
Yeah, just 9 total pitches.
So we have another version of the immaculate inning, and it was you beam the first guy and then strike out the second guy. This one's going to be swung onto the 5-6 hole. Braxton Fowler on the run across the diamond. Not going to be in time this time. Another good play from Fowler, but good hustle down the lineup from Myers. He's going to have his second hit of the day, and Timpview now has the tying run coming up to the plate. Finish that thought. So beamed the first guy, struck out the second guy. Beamed the third guy, struck out the fourth guy. beamed the fifth guy to load the bases, struck out the sixth guy.
And as the sixth guy was coming up, he looked at his coach and said, "What do you want me to do?" And the coach said, "Get ready to get hit." That was what he shouted down at him. Oh, Ty, that was I caught for that particular player, and he was the absolute worst to catch for because he threw harder than anyone. He had to be 92 or 93, and it was just all over the place with his pitches. He would just beat you up.
It's going to be Jordan Christensen who walked and then bunted, and it was probably the play of the day so far. Bridger Shaw fielding it on the run with the bare hand, threw him out at first base. So 0 for 1 today. Pickoff move for the courtesy runners, not going to be in time. Christensen on the series is now 0 for 4, a couple of Ks.
I had another one similar to what Mike had just experienced.
Oh, sorry, Ty. This is a pinch hitter, Ty. Go ahead and finish your thought as I look up the hitter here.
We were playing Lehigh, I believe, was the team at the time, and I'll just say I got ran over at home plate. I mean, I got drilled, and I was seeing stars when I came up, and my pitcher, this is just old school where players handle it themselves, didn't have to be the coach. My pitcher kind of came and helped me up. And he looked at me, looked over the kid walking to the dugout, and then looked back at me and said, "Number 45, I got you." And he got hit in the head the next time up. He hit him in the head on the next one.
I'm seeing stars here. This is not a pinch hitter. This is Jordan Christensen. Pickoff move. Ooh, that would have been in time, Ty, but it's going to get away from Mahoney, and Timpview's going to get a runner in scoring position with only one away.
Yeah, that pick play's been good all day long for Max, Ty, but that one just got away a little too far for Grant to get, and if Grant can't get it, you know it's a little bit out of reach, Ty, because he gobbles everything that's around him.
1-2 the count with a runner now on second base. Again, the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the sixth. It's 2-0. Emotions have gotten a little exciting here after a play at the plate and then a hit by pitch in the last inning. That one's fouled off, keeps the count at 1-2. Number 6 hitter up here for the T-Birds is senior Jordan Christensen. 0 for 1 today with a walk. The 1-2 tries to go inside. It's too far inside. Goes off the leg, and that's going to put the tying run on first. So first and second, one out for the junior Jackson Davis who comes up. He has a strikeout, and he also was hit by pitch in the game today.
Well, both these teams have had opportunities, Ty. So whoever ends up on the wrong side of the win-loss column is going to be kicking themselves here because they both had opportunities. Some poor base running from Timpview earlier on, Tyler, when they have a runner on third, less than 2 outs, and the coach sends him on a ground ball to third. I mean, that one you pointed at the coach. It's a bad decision to send him home, and he runs you out of an inning there. Wasatch has had multiple innings with runners in scoring position where they haven't been able to come up with a big hit. And now Timpview again, less than 2 outs, runners in scoring position. See if they can produce anything here.
Davis is going to take one above his head. Now this one's at the bell, and this one's going to be roped to right field. It's in there. Blute's going to field it cleanly, who's come back into the game for Miguel. He's able to get it in. The single will not score a run, so the bases are loaded with 8-9-1 coming up. True Anderson, who did single up the middle in his last at-bat.
Well, that's a rarity, Tyler. Coming into this series, Davis, he only had 4 hits on the entire season, correct?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's an unusual one, but that's what happens when you leave a ball up over the middle part of the zone. Anyone can get the bat head out and float one out over there. And so you've got a guy who's hitting well below 100 that just came up with a huge hit here for the T-Birds.
It's going to be True Anderson. Walk, hit by pitch, popped out, and then popped out in a single in the series. Misses inside for ball 1. Bases are loaded, 1 away. Tying run now at second base for the Thunderbirds. Wasatch playing double play depth across the diamond. The 1-0 swung on and missed for strike 1.
That's a swing that's chopping down at the baseball, Tyler. If you're Max, and I think after that swing, you probably go back out on the outer half of the plate, maybe 3 to 6 inches off, and see if you can get him to chop down on that ball and hit a ground ball to the shortstop, get a double play.
The 1-1. Instead, he's going to swing over the top of that one that dives back in at the ankles. 1-2 now the count.
I'd go back to it again, Ty. Obviously, a strikeout's great, but a ground ball double play is even better, and this is an ideal candidate here for this. If you can locate your spot, maybe a soft breaking pitch on the outer half now, should be able to get a ground ball.
1-2, went upstairs, went for the strikeout on the high fastball, lays off of it, moves the count to 2-2.
It's nice about a strikeout as opposed to a ground ball, Tyler's ground balls can find holes out there, right? And so even a a poorly hit ground ball can end up being a hit. Strikeout, you just take care of business right there. But
well, infield wet, right? Pretty clumpy out there. Seen some crazy hops on this infield. It's a 2-2. Livingston delivers the 2-2, goes back to the off speed, and this one's going to be a broken bat. Gets the chalk, and it's fair. One run's going to come in. They're going to try to wave in the runner at third. No, he doesn't. He'll keep the runner at third base. It's 2-1 on the broken back single over the first baseman's head. Third hit of the inning for Timpview, and that's going to move us to the number 9 hitter. Lined out on a good barrel to center field and was hit by pitch.
Some unlikely heroes for Timpview in this inning. Tyler Davis getting the line drive single before. That's what you want your guy to do. With 2 strikes, you just be competitive and put it in play, and it finds some grass out there.
Another barrel. This one's going to be up the middle. Another base knock. Another run will come in. We've got ourselves a tie ball game. It's 2-2, and Timpview now with 3 straight singles on 7, 8, 9. They tie the game up as we move now to the top of the order.
Max at 77 pitches now, Ty. Doing all right, but with the top of the order coming up, just may be time to give a different look here to Timpview.
We're going to go ahead and take a break as Coach McCoy comes out to the mound. Mirror Lake Station timeout. 2-2 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Check out the Fit Stop Health Club. It's more than a great facility. Their employees and staff create a comfortable, caring, supportive place for men and women of all ages, as well as their families, to work out. They have your tanning beds, massage, and personal trainers. Find your new groove. Jump into their therapy pool with endless laps. They have Group X classes with nationally certified and specially trained instructors. See what the Fit Stop offers. Go to their website at fitstophealthclub.com. For more information, call 654-2131.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Coach McCoy's going to stick with Livingston, still on the mound after the Mirror Lake Station visit. Still bases loaded as we move to the top of the order. It's Max Clark who singled, walked, and then grounded out to the fielder's choice, ground out in his last at bat.
Not a great double play candidate here, no. Tyler. Lefty leadoff hitter, quick out of the box.
Wasatch still in the bind, still bases loaded.
Yeah, if you're Wasatch, what you're hoping for, Ty, is a strikeout, pop out to the infield, or a ball to the corner so you can go home with it. Stocking and Fowler staying back deep for a double play up the middle, but I think that's going to be hard on this hitter.
It's a 1-0 count. The pitch goes to the off speed. He's going to elevate this one to center field. Brown going back. This is going to be deep enough, and Timpview is going to have their first lead of the series on the sacrifice fly from Clark. It's 3-2. 3 runs scored here in the 6th.
That's good baseball, Tyler. Tip your cap to Timpview. That's what you want there. You've got the go-ahead run at third base, and you don't try to do too much with it. You got something you can handle. Put it up on the fly, deep. You got your outfield retreating. There's no chance to make a play at home. And it's just good quality baseball here from Timpview, Tyler. 7, 8, 9 comes through for you. Now the leadoff executing the way you need him to.
Runner still on first and second with 2 outs. Wasatch trying to minimize, keep this to a 1-run game. They'll have 3 outs here in the top of the 7th to try to extend the game.
Yeah, and this is an important batter here, Tyler. As we talked about, 3, 4, 5 for Timpview. Can really swing it over here. So, I mean, you want to get after Clevin. Clevin's swung it well, too, Ty. He came in just below 400 into the series. But he's not exactly the same power threat as the next guy who's coming up. And so you want to get out of this right now, keep it a 1-run game. You've got the top of the lineup waiting for Wasatch to come up. And so Wasatch certainly not out of it by any stretch, but you want to keep it as close as possible.
Pinch runner's going to come in at second base, misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Livingston takes peek, delivers on one look. He's going to spike this one. Dahl does a great job of keeping it in the glove. Keeps the count at 2-1. Three-run 6th here for Timpview gives them the 3-2 lead. The 2-1, it's going to be a ground ball to Fowler at short. He'll field it cleanly, flip it to Stocking at second. And Timpview is retired, but the damage is done. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. Wasatch moves into the top of the 7th, trailing by 1.
Unlock your potential at Bonnie Joseph Academy, your local beauty school. Explore the art of cosmetology, barbering, hair design, basic aesthetics, master aesthetics, and nail tech programs. Visit bonniejosephacademy.edu to learn more and enroll today. Financial aid is available for qualifying students. And we offer flexible schedules and distant education options. Transform your passion into a rewarding career at Bonnie Joseph Academy, where beauty meets expertise. Bonnie Joseph Academy, Heber City.
At Heber Park City Appliance, you're getting a dedicated team of professionals who go out of their way to keep your home running smoothly. And when we say team, we're talking about 40 years of winning service and reliability. We're here to boost your at-home satisfaction long after your purchase. So when it's fourth quarter and your fridge goes out, oh man, be confident knowing we're a team that will go the distance for you. Heber Park City Appliance in Heber City. Visit us online at HeberAppliance.com.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the seventh, brought to you by Chubby's, new to the Heber Valley, family-owned and operated, 9 Utah locations, your neighborhood destination for the food you crave. Austin Brown, top of the order, up for Wasatch, who need to score a run in order to extend the inning. Starts with the off-speed pitch. It's in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Brown 2 for 3 today with a single up the middle and a single through the 5-6 hole. Also scored in the first. He's going to swing at the second pitch. That one's a rope to right field. Right fielder was literally playing at the fence. And now Brown 3 for 4 on the day.
Yeah, Timpview lucky that he couldn't get that ball elevated, Tyler, because he smoked that ball. That ball had a high exit velocity and would have easily left the yard had he been able to get some elevation on that thing. He's had 3 fantastic barrels today.
Decisions here for Coach McCoy. Nobody out. Runner on first. Wasatch, that run is the tying run. Cannon comes set. Fowler in the box. 0 for 3 today. Did reach on an errand score in his first at bat. Fowler will take strike 1. Brown, not a big lead over at first base. Cannon's done a good job of controlling it. Check swing is going to go. Called a strike. 0-2 now the count here to Fowler.
I think you send him here, Ty. I think 0-2. I'd probably put him in motion. Get something that Braxton can hit. A little run and hit here. So if you're Austin and they do send him, you'll take a peek in. Make sure it's something that you're not going to get doubled up on.
Fowler, see if he can be tough with 2 strikes here. The 0-2. Goes at the belt. Oh, he gets the called strike. A little bit off the plate is going to be strikeout number 7 on the day for Cannon. Something to talk about here, Ty. Cannon had 40 pitches coming out of the first inning, and he's gone 50 pitches the next 5 innings.
3 guys in the first inning, Tyler, and to still be in here in the 7th inning has been a really good ball game for him.
Going to bring up Mahoney. He's going to have a chopper that's going to get through the infield. Right fielder was playing deep, and Brown's going to try to go from first to third. In time is Brown at third. So runners on the corners and the tying run at third base with 1 away.
Yeah, Ty, and again, that's just a little bit of a coaching blunder for Timpview. You got to bring your right fielder in a little bit. They allowed Wasatch to advance first to third on a soft ground ball to right field. And now you've got a runner on third with less than 2 outs. Should be one that Wasatch can push across, and that's purely because of a positioning error from the setup from Timpview.
Hafen 1 for 3 today. Did have a single up the middle on an infield single. And then he struck out and grounded out in his other 2. Going to have a pinch runner. It is going to be, is that Eli over there, Ty?
Yeah, Eli Turley's in.
Brown at third base. 1 away. Runners on the corners. Hafen in the box. Wasatch needing a run. Down 3-2 here in the top of the 7th. Cannon delivers. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1.
That's a good curveball, Ty. He's been working on the outer half with that curveball, and it's just not what you're hunting there if you're Hafen. You want to get something up and elevated, and that one's probably not the pitch he's looking for.
Hafen goes well the opposite way, though, Ty, so we'll see if they stay on the outside part of the plate. Right fielder continuing to play deep in right, as is really all the outfield. Timeout as I believe a lacrosse ball has gotten onto the field, Ty, from over on the football field. First and third, 1 away. Hafen back in the box. Cannon comes set. Delivers. Off-speed pitch is going to be elevated to right center field. That ball's not going to get caught. Pick him up, put him down. Colden Hafen with the extra. Oh, no, Hafen's going to trip over first base again. Eli Turley's going to try to score from first. Not going to do it as he'll be pulled back to third base. And tough break all around as Hafen, who's had a hard time running, and I think he may have rolled an ankle. He had to stop at first base on the ball to the wall, and he's in pain, Ty. Eli Turley's going to stop at third. The wet field coming into play here.
Man, what a swing from Colton, Tyler. What a swing. Did exactly what you said. Cannon was trying to work the outer half of the plate, and Hafen just drove it to right center. But that first base line has been abusive to him today. He went down in time earlier trying to run, and that time he was trying to dig it out and make the turn to head to second base, Tyler, and rolled the ankle going over first base. Good hustle from Eli, though, Ty. Eli was booking it, coming full steam ahead around the corner, challenging Timpview, drew a throw home, and that's what you want to do if you're Eli, because that throw could go off target. They could gift you a run coming across, which would be the go-ahead run. So all the way around, that's just good baseball for Wasatch.
Ties the game regardless. It's going to be 3-3. Same situation we were just in. Runners on the corners, one away. Bridger Shaw now will come up. Walked in his first at-bat, struck out and ground out. Pick-off move. It's going to be Wood, I believe, over there, right? Easton Wood's going to be the speed-up guy here for Wasatch, or a pinch runner. Hafen will come out of the game after rolling the ankle. Pitch. That one's going to be low for ball one.
It's pitch 101 here for Cannon.
They're going to cut off the infield here with runners on the corners. Pitch is going to be low. Ooh, gets the outside corner just below the knees for strike one. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 away, runners on the corners. Shaw back into the box. Cannon sets, delivers. Runner's going to go, and that's going to be an easy swipe at the bag because nobody there to cover. Second base.
Baseball. That's you're standing on first base. If you're the first base coach, say, hey, take it. They can't get back and cover. Get the double play out of it. Now you're in business here. Break this thing open.
2-1 count. Swung on, and it's a base knock down the left field line. Pick him up, put him down. 1 run comes in. 2 runs come in. Shaw's going to be on second, standing up with a 1 out, 2 RBI double, and Wasatch takes the 5-3 lead.
Mr. Clutch, Bridger Shaw, Tyler, comes through when you need him. 2 RBI man, or 2 out RBI man. And how about when you need a big hit in the 7th? Wasatch hasn't been in a lot of games when they've needed a big hit in the 7th, Ty. But that's the guy you want to bring up. Great inning. Seeing just some good baseball all the way around here, Ty. Brown getting things started as the leadoff hitter should. Hafen driving that ball to right center. Mahoney staying inside of it, getting a single to the right side. And now Shaw ripping a double down the line.
It's going to bring a trip to the mound from the head coach at Timpview. It's got to be close, right? Pitch-wise, probably the last batter here. Now maybe could get 2 in. So as it stands, let's reset it. Wasatch came into the inning trailing 3-2, had to score to extend the inning, and not able to, and it's going to be single from Brown, single from Mahoney, single from Hafen, and a double from Shaw. And Wasatch has scored 3 to give themselves the 5-3 lead. We are going to have a pitching change for Timpview. 5-3 Wasatch. We'll be back.
Hey there, Heber City. Are you tired of dings, dents, and scrapes ruining the beauty of your beloved vehicle? Look no further than Robards Collision, the ultimate destination for all your auto body needs. At Robards Collision, they've been offering top-notch collision repairs and outstanding customer service. Their team of expert technicians is passionate about bringing your car back to its original glory, no matter the size of damage. Their state-of-the-art facility is equipped with cutting-edge technology, ensuring precise and accurate repairs. They handle it all with precision and care.
Hungry for mouth-watering, all-American comfort food? Look no further. Chubby's has just opened in Heber Valley, bringing you award-winning burgers and cheesesteaks made from 100% premium black Angus beef. With 9 Utah locations, our family-owned and operated restaurant knows how to satisfy your cravings. And don't forget to treat yourself to our delicious desserts. Come taste the difference today at Chubby's, located at 220 North Main Street. Chubby's Cafe, your neighborhood destination for the food you crave.
Hi, this is Corbin Gordon from Gordon Law Group. I commonly get approached by people with the same question. Hey, do you guys do a particular type of law? The answer is almost always, yeah, we do that. We are the Valley's only full-service law firm that has been in business for over 20 years. We have 5 experienced attorneys who do estate work, litigation, business formation, real estate, water law, divorce, criminal defense, and many others. Gordon Law Group, yeah, we do that.
Pitching change brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, winners of Best In-State Donuts. Wasatch leads 5-3 here in the top of the 7th after scoring 3 runs. Rattinger's going to come into the game to pinch run for Bridger Shaw at second base. It's Blake Sweat in the box. 2-0 the count. The new pitcher is Mimi Gonzalez. 8.75 ERA in 4 innings pitched. Has walked 7 guys and 5 Ks. Working out of the stretch, the 2-0, swung on and fouled to the right side. Move the count to 2-1. On deck is Micah Dahl. Wasatch came into the inning trailing 3-2, had to score in order to extend the inning, and now they've got 4 hits in the inning and have scored 3 runs. Only one away. Nice pitch on the inside, but misses high for now a 3-1 count. Blake 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a fly out to right field. It's a deep ball to right field, pushed the right fielder all the way back to the wall. The 3-1 swung on. It's going to be a broken bat ground ball to the second baseman who bobbles it, gets rid of it, not in time. Safe at first on the bobble by the second baseman. And Wasatch now has runners on the corners.
Yeah, it took kind of a weird hop tie. It spun funky off the bat, went down to his knees to try to get that one, but couldn't handle it, as you pointed out. Wasatch is in business.
Runners on the corners, 1 away. Micah Dahl comes up, lined out to right field, single and a hit by pitch in the game today. Gonzalez still working out of the stretch, goes with the off speed, misses outside for ball 1. Gonzalez comes set, delivers, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Eddie Bluth back in the box, was pinch hit for before, re-entered the game to be in right field. 1-1 is going to go in the dirt, and Blake Sweat's going to go ahead and take the bag. Runners on second and third now with the 2-1 count to Dahl. Back into the windup is Gonzalez. He's going to deliver this one. This one's elevated to center field. Going back. See you later, Senor Wilson. It's a touch 'em all for Micah Dahl. A 3-run home run for the senior catcher. And Wasatch has blown this game open. It's an 8-3 lead now for the Wasps.
You felt like he was close, Tyler. The last couple games he's been on the barrel, but what sweet revenge after they come after you and hit you earlier in the game intentionally. The ultimate victory by smoking that ball over center field. I like it. He had an extra stomp at home and tied the Timpview coach emotional over it. But, hey, you stomped that plate, Micah. You earned that one. Played a good game, smoked that ball. And after taking the intentional hit by pitch, you get the last laugh.
Holy smokes, he is fired up, Ty, and I didn't see it. What happened to home?
When he got home, he stomped. I mean, he stomped home, and it was nothing out of the ordinary here, Tyler. He's fired up because his
just stomped on the plate? That's all he did?
Stomped on the plate. That was it, Ty. Yeah, that's it.
Man, fired up.
He's emotional, I feel like, over the game, Tyler. I don't know if it was that over Dahl intentionally.
You've been this close to get. I mean, lost 18-17 right to Salem Hills on a questionable call at second base, and you're thinking you got a chance to get a victory. He can't get to it. Like, Timpview's got the heart of their order up, right? They got 3, 4, 5 up. Max is at the end of his pitch count.
Actually, I'll tell you what, Ty, Max can still go for a few more days. He's at 80 pitches, 83 right now, and so he should be able to get this one done for Wasatch.
Ty, it's a home run in high school. You got to be able to allow the kids to be excited about it. Like, I'm just going to say it how it is. And
Ty, there's nothing wrong.
If it's just stomping on the
bag,
bag,
Micah did absolutely nothing. He bumped when he came across and stomped on it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But
got some kids looking for that home run ball, Ty, and I don't think it went that far.
No, they're a little too far over. Yeah, he hit it to the deepest part of the park, dead center. And this is a tall fence down here at Timpview, Ty, about double the size. Really got to hit it to get it out in center field.
Well, Wasatch again came into the inning trailing 3-2, and now 6 runs, 5 hits in the inning. A single from Brown, single from Mahoney, a single from Hafen, double from Shaw, and now a home run, 3-run home run from Micah Dahl. Timpview's wanting some repercussions here, Ty, and
it's a bit silly.
Not going to happen.
Just to say it, Ty, it's a bit silly, this argument.
going to bring up Eddie Bluth, 0 for 2 today. He'll take ball 1.
And to just say it bluntly, Tyler, it's a bit ridiculous, especially after you have your guy intentionally go head hunting another guy,
exactly.
and you want to come
Fired
be the
up
moral
about it.
police over a guy stomping on home plate hard. That's not right here for Timpview.
No, it's not. 2-0 now the count here to Bluth, number 8 hitter for Wasatch. That one gets the outside corner. 2-1 now the count. Two balls, 1 strike. The pitch, outside part of the plate again. Swing and a miss, now 2-2.
Someone needs to tell those kids out in center to go down by the fence, Ty. I don't think that hill, it probably rolled down.
Nice off-speed pitch in on the hands, and it's going to be called strike 3. 0 for 3 on the day now for Bluth. And Ty, sometimes you just have a bad day and shake that one off and come back next week. Two outs now for Kyron Stocking, who's also 0 for 3 today. Pop out, ground out, and struck out looking in his last at bat. Nice off-speed pitch again here from Gonzalez on the outside corner for strike 1.
Have we mentioned 7, 8, 9 producing before, Ty? How about Micah Dahl hitting in the 7 hole today?
Yeah, that's right.
3 RBIs, home run, scores a run as well. Had a single on the day, 2 hits. Not all of them this time, but still producing at the bottom of the lineup.
Ball 1, ball 2 on the next 2 pitches. Landed the first one, so 2-1 now the count for Stocking. Wasatch has had all 9 hitters come up in this top half of the 7th. Off-speed pitch. That one's going to be roped down the left field line. It's going to get over. Stocking's going to round first. He'll stay at first, and that's going to bring up the freshman Austin Brown, who's already singled to right field in this inning.
Austin's done well against the better velocity, Tyler, of Cannon. See if he can slow his swing down now and get on balance with a little bit more thumbing coming at him.
First pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. He's got 3 hits today already, Ty. He's 3 for 4 with 3 singles to each part of the park. Went up the middle, 5-6 hole, and right field. The 1-0 misses outside again. 2-0 now the count.
Watch out here, Ty. Get that fastball. Get that bat head out.
The 2-0. Nice pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. 2-1 now the count.
That was a good pitch. Ty started inside and it tailed back in. It's a nice spot. Still hitters count. Looking for your zone 1 spot.
The 2-1. Missed that one. A little over the plate. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, Ty, and it's a tricky game, right? Talk about the good velocity. All he's seen is Cannon, who throws a little bit harder, and he's having to adjust, change his timing, change the speed. It can be tricky to do.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first for Wasatch. They lead 8-3. Pitch is going to go behind Brown. That will get by the catcher. Stocking will advance to second base, and we'll have a full count with a runner in scoring position.
Tried to throw the curveball, Ty, just got away from him.
Maybe forgot it was a lefty up.
Yeah, pulled it too far down into the ground.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second for Brown. The pitch swung on, and this is going to be skied high. Is it going to get out of the play? Not going to get out of play. Catcher coming over and can't make the play. Austin gets some new life.
First base has to come get that ball, Tyler.
Right.
That ball's got to be the first baseman coming to catch that.
Keep the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Brown just a little bit off on the timing on 2 of the swings that he's had in this at bat. Gonzalez will come set. Takes a look at Stocking at second. Payoff. Misses. And Brown will get to walk down to first base. Puts runners on first and second. And will bring up Fowler. Has a run score, but is 0 for 4 on the game today, which is a rarity. Again, came in hitting .471 in region play. Wasatch trying to add on to their 5-run lead and 6 runs that they've scored here in the top of the 7th.
Braxton's had some tough strike calls against him, Ty. He just needs to go after it. Not let the umpire take this into his own hands.
0-1, he's going to go after that one. It's going to be elevated to center field. It'll fall in front of the center fielder. Stocking's going to try to score from second. The throw's not going to be in time, and the ball's going to go into left field. The cutoff man threw the ball into left field, so Brown's going to come in and score as well, and Fowler, after a single, is going to end up on third base, and Wasatch now with a 10-3 lead.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about, Tyler. I don't think that's a strike. That's a little up in the zone, but Braxton kind of said, I've had enough. I'm not going to let you call strikes that I don't think are strikes, and hit a laser right back up the middle.
Sixth hit of the inning. 8 runs now come in. Mahoney, who singled and scored in this inning. Snow's beginning to fall once again with blue skies ahead of us, getting blown in from the canyon. 10-3, Wasatch after scoring 2 runs in the first inning, went scoreless in the second, third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth innings. Finally were able to break it open here in the seventh, and that one actually is going to go off the helmet. Mahoney will run down to first base. Coach for Timpview is not upset as Mahoney's kind of stared him down, and he's wanting him to throw Mahoney out.
Yeah, Ty, that grazed the helmet for Mahoney. Everything's
a little emotional
turning
here.
molehills into mountains over here.
Oh, they're going to throw out the catcher. This is going to not make the Timpview coach happy. The catcher has been thrown out. He's been
Coach
having
McCoy
some warnings.
Wisely coming over.
Yeah, he's coming right over to the dugout. Now somebody else just got thrown out too, Ty, as the field umpire just pointed, and I believe first base, or let's see, shortstop maybe, second base, he got thrown out as well. It's chaos here at Timpview High School. Wasatch has scored 8 runs here in the top of the 7th. It's 10-3. Let's go ahead and take a break, Ty, and we'll be back.
Heber Valley, whether you're cheering on our high school team or enjoying a day in our beautiful valley, our community is stronger when we love local. Our local businesses are the heartbeat of Heber Valley, from your favorite cafe to the shop on the corner. When you shop local, you're supporting your neighbors and investing in the future of our community. So next time you're out and about, show some love. Shop, dine, and explore right here in Heber Valley. Brought to you by the Heber Valley Chamber of Commerce. Remember, love local. It makes all the difference. Visit gohebervalley.com/shop.
For a limited time, UCCU is offering 33-month savings certificates with an incredibly high APY of 2.55%. Plus, you can jump up to an even higher rate of return anytime during the life of your certificate. With a savings certificate, you just make one deposit and then let your money grow and grow and grow, with a fixed rate of return that's much higher than a standard savings account. Learn more at uccu.com. UCCU. Love where you bank.
Big O Tires in Heber is your one-stop shop for tires and service. What was once Point S is now Big O Tires. Same service, but different name. We're locally owned and operated and want to help you get your vehicle ready to road trip this summer. Stop in for all your name brand tires, oil changes, alignments, brakes, batteries, shocks, struts, and a whole lot more. Plus, Big O Tires offers financing options to fit any budget or any situation. Visit us today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Hi, this is Kendall Crittenden, Wasatch County Council member and a member of the Caring Community Coalition. Did you know that kids are at a greater risk of experimenting with alcohol and drugs between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m.? Many parents are still at work this time of day. Check in with your kids. Find out where your kids will be, who they'll be with, and what they will be doing. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Caring Community Coalition.
Welcome back to Timpview High School. It's turned into a little bit of some chaos here at Timpview High School. Wasatch came into the top of the 7th, trailing 3-2 after Timpview scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th to take the lead. 3 outs away from getting their first region victory, but Wasatch has pounded the ball here in the top of the 7th. Single by Brown, single by Mahoney, single from Hafen, double from Shaw, a 3-run home run from Dahl, a single from Stocking, a single from Fowler has broken this thing open. 8 runs here in the top of the 7th to give Wasatch the 10-3 lead. Mahoney came up, pitch got away from Gonzalez that hit Mahoney in the head. And Mahoney kind of looked at the pitcher on the way down to first and ended up with 2 Timpview players getting kicked out of the ballpark, the catcher and the shortstop for Timpview.
Ty, and let's just say it how we see it. There was no ill intent on that hit by pitch. I mean, they weren't coming after Grant. That wasn't intentional on that one. When they hit Micah, that was intentional earlier in the game, Tyler. But that one was not. But there's been emotion that's just been building all game long. And Wasatch down in this inning, having coming back and put an 8 spot on. Grant kind of, he gave him a little grin on the way down, right? He looked. He got a free base, looked over. And catcher didn't like it. There were some conversations going on. Next thing you knew, the emotions exploded, and you got guys tossed out of the game. But this is one that just wasn't one to get that emotional over, Ty. This is just the building of the whole game here. Barely grazed him on the brim of the helmet.
Yeah, what started back in the 5th, right, where Timpview was threatening. They had a runner on third. Shaw had a play at third where he threw it home to Dahl, and Dahl was kind of coming up the line, and it ended up looking a little bit like, it was an attempt at a slide, but it kind of looked like it was a collision at the plate is the best way to say it. There were some words exchanged between Dahl and the Timpview player that kind of got the emotion started at that point. And then in the very next inning, Dahl got hit with 2 outs, nobody on base. Dahl got one right to the ribs, and ever since then, it's been a little bit emotional. Dahl ended up hitting the 3-run home run and stomped on the plate, which the Timpview coach took exception to, and he's still out having a conversation with the umpires near the mound.
He's had plenty of conversations over the course of this series, Tyler, and we've given a lot of credit. I think he's done a nice job down here at Timpview. He's turned this program into a really tough team to face off against, Ty, but a lot of his conversation with the umpires seem very misguided in this series, too. Just unusual conversations. This one, he's probably defending his guy. This one, Ty, I get you're coming out defending your guy, but there's been some other ones that have been unusual arguments that he's made.
Well, and not sure, what the rules are here, Ty, but it could be, those are 2 of your best guys. You get kicked out, you're out for the next game as well. And so you're number 24 in the RPI. You're clinging to some playoff.
But you know what, Ty? That catcher already had a warning.
He did.
The umpire had already
Definitely.
talked to him, and he kept pushing the limit there with that. Not sure what the shortstop did to get tossed there too, Ty. But
pretty definitive. The field umpire was adamant that he needed to leave.
And that's a big one because Clevin, the shortstop, Tyler, he's a starting arm that they use. And so that's a big deal here for Timpview to lose that starting pitcher. Well, at this point, we just got to get the game moving along here, Ty. You got both pitchers that you talk about worrying about injuries and whatnot. It's cold out here. You don't want to have to make a switch with Livingston over there sitting around already for a significant chunk of time, Ty. This inning's already over 25 minutes long for Wasatch hitting.
It's been a great paced game. Both starting pitchers threw extremely well. And you got a volleyball game you need to get to of your daughters, Ty.
It's been going on for about an hour and a half. I was hoping to make it over there, Ty, but at this rate, we may have 4 or 5 more trips out to talk with the umpires. Pace we've been going on this one. Well, Ty, the word you've used for Wasatch all year long, grit.
Yeah.
Haven't you felt it in this inning?
They just don't go away.
8 runs in the top of the 7th. Nice to have a guy like Brown who can step into the box and just rip a missile to get the inning going, Tyler, and that just got things shaky for Timpview right off the bat in this inning. But you've had big hit after big hit, right? You go kind of recap it if you're just joining us. Brown, he gets the single to right field right off the bat, Tyler. Then you get Mahoney who singles to right field. Then Hafen crushes the longest single you're going to see in the game here to right field because he tripped over first base and got hurt, Tyler, but crushed one to right center to the base of the fence. And then Bridger Shaw rips a double down the line to give Wasatch the lead. Blake Sweat comes up and finds his way on, Tyler. Then you get Micah Dahl who hits the 3-run home run. And then Kyron Stocking gets a laser single over there to left field as well, Ty. And now we're going as Brown ends up walking. Fowler gets a single to center field. And now Mahoney gets hit by a pitch, and he's over there. I mean, this inning, Wasatch has just produced and produced and produced.
We're still having conversations out here, Ty. I thought like momentarily we were going to get back into it, but Timpview coach still out talking to the field umpire. Well, Hafen is due up eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there. And he's had a good game today, hasn't he, Ty? Trying to battle off the injury. Haven't been able to get him by first base yet, though. He's hit some balls that he should get by first base, but got a couple singles on the day. One that went 400 feet, it felt like, Tyler. That's not quite 400 feet to the fence. And then he had one that went not even out of the infield. Ty, you've been a coach, been out there for these kinds of situations. What are they talking about? What kind of conversation is going on at this point?
Well,
with the umpire
at this
and head
point,
coach?
they're making the subs, right? And so the coach finally has gotten to the point where, okay, here's where this guy's going in, here's where that guy's going in. I'm not sure what the conversations were before. I'm sure he's pleading his case of all of the things that he feels Wasatch had done that was unsportsmanlike, right? And there's no repercussions at any of them. And then he gets two of his guys thrown out, or what those conversations were.
How about this for a stat, though, Ty? Wasatch had 5 hits on the game coming into this inning. They've gotten 7 hits in this inning alone. And the bats have certainly woken up. They chase Cannon, the starting pitcher, out. Tyler, he ends up going 6 1/3 and giving up. Actually, was it 6 1/3? 6 1/3. And gave up 5 runs on the day for a pretty good starting pitcher. ERA at 2 for Timpview.
We're still not there as the umpires are now going out to have another conversation. Whoa, let's go ahead and take a break. We're maybe back at it. Top of the 7th, 10-3 the score.
Are you ready for lunch? Well, the Dairy King, home of the train, is serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley and have been the winner of Best of State for 20 years. They've recently been named the best of Utah for their milkshakes. You've got to try their delicious train burger with an Oreo shake. They also have those yummy salads that just hit the spot, or a turkey breast sandwich that tickles the taste buds. They've proudly been serving the Heber Valley for 78 years at the Dairy King, home of the train, serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Welcome back. Still 10-3.
Top of the 7th.
Top of the 7th.
I'll finish that thought for you.
Go ahead, Ty.
10-3, top of the 7th. You're listening to Wasatch against Timpview. And it's been a heck of a 7th inning for Wasatch. 8 runs scored in the inning, 7 hits. Highlighted by the home run ball from Micah Dahl. Tattooed, towering home run to center field. And then some fireworks. A couple Timpview players getting ejected after Grant Mahoney got hit by a pitch. And gave a little smirk and glare on his way down to first base. And that was the fuse, or excuse me, Ty, the spark that lit the fuse after a building of emotions in this ball game, and it's taken a while to get this resolved. The catcher was tossed, the shortstop was tossed. No Wasatch players were tossed out of the game, but you explained it well. This goes back to plays at the plate where there was some contact and then some words said. Then the next inning, Timpview threw at Wasatch's catcher, Micah Dahl. Wasatch didn't like that. And after Dahl hit the home run, Timpview didn't like that he gave a little extra stomp on home plate as he came across. Tell you what, though, as far as home run trots go, Ty, Micah nailed it. Don't know if you saw it going around. You know,
yeah.
Home run trot, you got to kind of think your way through how you're going to do that. And as he came around third base, kind of the wind-up wheel, high five to Coach McCoy. It's like they practiced that in practice. I got to ask him. And just looked like he'd done it 1,000 times, then came home and had an extra little stomp on the plate. It's a thing of beauty.
Home run trots. Famous home run trots. What come to mind
when
I
Griffey
say famous
for sure,
home run?
right?
The walk it off.
Walk when you hit it. Sammy Sosa, the hop.
Double hop.
Got
any other ones?
Any like it right now that have kind of that legendary home run watch?
When you hit it as far as Judge, you should even make him go around the bases. Like he looks like he just watches it, right? Just go out, and then he decides, I guess I better run around.
Judge just kind of, I mean, that's a Tuesday for him, right? He just kind of takes care of it and goes around. There's nothing too exciting that he does at the plate when he hits a home run. Ty, did you ever have your home run trot down?
No. I mean, I never had any threat. Never was a threat.
Your home runs had to be inside the park, so you're just sprinting. Your trot was just a full sprint.
How about in the backyard wiffle ball? Who are some of the hitters that you would imitate when you'd get up in the wiffle ball? So here's one, like Gary Sheffield. Remember how Gary Sheffield would pump that arm? That was one that you'd emulate a little bit. You always tried
Jim
with
Tomey.
Griffey.
You remember that? Jim Tomey had a really unique stance, Tyler. That one that you do. Griffey, of course, was one that you'd want to go to.
Jay Buhner would just kind of stand up there and then open, right, and then close it off is another guy. Moises Alou, I felt like, was one. For whatever reason, I would copy a little bit, kind of had the bat out there in front and wind up and hit it.
You remember Nomar Garcia-Parra?
Yes.
Remember a lot of guys doing Nomar at the time, Ty? Yeah, those were some fun ones.
Coach is back out here again, Ty. You're talking to the field umpire.
Your tone seems like you're displeased by this pace here, Tyler.
This
disturbance has gone over 10 minutes at this point that we've been waiting after this little delay here. So, Coach is icing his own pitcher out here at this point, Ty. But Wasatch,
maybe they're looking at the Doppler and they're hoping that a storm rolls in. We were just talking about this at the break, that if a storm comes in, they have to call it. It goes back to the start of the seventh inning.
I believe the rule reverts back to the start of the inning. So, yeah, if you want to go to bizarre baseball land, if for some reason weather made you stop the game, they'd go back to the score at the end of the 6th inning. And so Wasatch would lose this game. Yeah. And maybe they've changed that rule, Ty, but that was the rule back when we were coaching. And so
if that's the case,
rule here.
Let's have strikeout and let's get going, right?
Get this over.
Let's sacrifice. And
I don't think we got weather coming in that's going to shut this one down anytime soon. What I'd like to see is another long ball. Let's get Hafen past first base and just let him do it easy by trotting.
Another conversation with Coach McCoy.
It's a coach that's trying to build a program and a culture over here of winning, Tyler, and you're on the verge of dropping to 0-6 in region play after getting the lead here coming into the 7th inning. And so, I mean, he's trying to do this, but maybe it's starting to work against the culture that you want. Now you kind of have you crossed over into the line of just kind of begging here at this point? That's not how you want to win ball games.
It's 10-3, and we're ready to get after it. Gonzalez is going to come set. Runners on first and third, 2 outs. Hafen's going to check swing one into the dugout, 4-1.
You ever been involved in a baseball brawl, Tyler?
No.
Not your experience,
No,
huh?
I haven't had that.
No,
Swing and a miss, strike
not even
2.
a backyard wiffle ball brawl?
Definitely that.
Defend your honor
Cousins,
there?
like my summers were, like we had a whole league that between me and my cousins that we'd go change pipe for my grandpa. And, definitely some brawls there. This is high for ball 1. 1-2 the count.
Probably the time to send Grant, but see if Coach McCoy just tries to let the water fall on the fire here and not amp this thing back up.
1-2, swung on foul. Keeps the count at 1-2.
Well, the delay has slowed down Colden, hasn't it? That swing, all of his swings have been a little bit behind the pitcher here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, runners on first and second. The pitch. Pretty close. Ball 2.
You probably don't get that because of the conversation you just had for 10 minutes, Ty. I think he's been extending that zone out there and down, and that umpire just got a 10-minute earful from Timpview's coach and probably lost him that call.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Wasatch leading 10-3. The pitch, that one's too far outside. That'll fill up the count at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mahoney can go ahead and get a head start here.
Something to think about. It probably is hard for Colden, Ty. When you're watching an inning, you're getting the timing, you're getting the pace, and everyone just stood around for nearly 15 minutes. Hard to get back on time.
Payoff pitch is going to be foul down the right side.
And I think you're seeing it here. He's behind it again there, Ty. Just nothing to watch, nothing to do. You're just waiting. And so the advantage seems to be with the pitcher at this point.
Mahoney goes back to the bag at first. Another payoff pitch. Swung on, foul. Ooh, backup catcher. Took one right to the hip, it almost sounded like there, Ty. And we'll keep the count here at 3-2.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Yeah, that one hurting,
Ty. Ty mentioned that game going in the Wayback Machine, or the series, where I got hit 6 times in one series by same pitcher. I kept getting hit over and over by his back. Different times. He actually didn't play the same team multiple times in a week. It was spread throughout.
Ground ball's going to get through up the middle. That's going to be the 3rd hit of the day for Hafen. Another run will come in. Mahoney's going to go from first to third. So still runners on the corners. That's Fowler that comes in and scores there. He had a 2 RBI single earlier in this inning. Wasatch now with 9 runs scored in the inning, and they now lead 11-3.
Yeah, and over the course of a couple games, that same pitcher ended up hitting me 6 different times, and the last time he stepped in the box, and remember, I was catching, and he kind of looked down sheepishly at me because he knew what was coming. Like, he knew he was about to get hit, and he said, "I didn't do it on purpose, I promise." And I remember just smiling at him and said, okay. And then the first pitch hit him in the back. And you know what? We kind of smiled at each other. It wasn't full of animosity, right? I mean, it was just kind of fun around. He trotted down, knew it was coming, and the game moved on.
It's going to bring up Bridger Shaw, who doubled down the left field line and brought in 2 runs earlier in the inning, also scored. Swing of the first pitch, foul. Strike 1. Timpview still has their last ups, Ty, in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1 the count. That one gets the outside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, see, Ty, he did not call that pitch in the at-bat before with Hafen. That's even farther outside than the one that he didn't call.
No 2 count. The pitch is off speed pitch, and Bridger's going to barrel that one up the middle. Another hit for Wasatch in the inning. It's going to bring in yet another run. That's now a 12-3 lead for Wasatch.
9th hit of the inning for Wasatch. See if we can get to double-digit hits in the inning.
It's double-digit runs now. That's the 10th run that's come in the inning. And it's going to bring up Blake Sweat. He reached on an error earlier in this inning and ended up scoring. It was a ground ball to the second baseman who just couldn't get it out of his glove tie. He comes out with runners on first and second. Swings at the first pitch, foul. I think he wants that one back, Ty. That was one that was a little bit out over the plate, inner half, that he could have done some damage to. No balls, 1 strike. Gonzalez comes set, delivers, goes to the off speed, gets the outside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, the zone keeps expanding. Just a little bit here, a little bit there from the umpire. Go right back out there, 0-2 count.
Goes back to the off speed. It's elevated down the right side. Foul. We'll keep the count at 0-2.
Yeah, he went back to it, but he missed his spot, Ty. That one was floating out over the middle part of the plate. One I think Blake would love to get another opportunity on.
Time to let Hafen get back to second base.
Yeah, it's going to take a home run to get him to score from second base here, Tyler.
Looking a little bit like Kirk Gibson out there running. Is that what you're saying? 0-2. Another foul ball from Sweat.
It's late. Just everything's late here with Blake right now. Needs to get going a little bit earlier.
Went back to the fastball there, Ty. Gone off speed a couple of pitches in a row. Breaks able to get a piece of the fastball. The 0-2 goes back to the off speed and
I
misses
thought he was
high.
Pull the trigger there on that time. Starting to get the sense from the umpire he wants this thing over with.
I don't blame him, to be honest. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gonzalez, 1 look, delivers, gets the outside corner for strike 3. That'll be the first strikeout of the game second strikeout of the game for Gonzalez, and Wasatch is finally retired. 10 runs on 9 hits, 1 error, 2 were left on base. 12-3 going into the bottom of the 7th.
We at Guild Mortgage help people build personal wealth through real estate, be it your first home, next home, dream home, or investment property. At Guild Mortgage, we help you refinance for that lower interest rate, shorter term, or home remodel. At Guild Mortgage, we help you plan for retirement by owning multiple investment properties and can even add to your retirement plan with a reverse mortgage. We at Guild Mortgage believe everyone can own what matters.
Timberline Ace Hardware is committed to helping their neighbors and their communities, and because they're in the neighborhood, they can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in store, curbside, or they'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock with people that know how to help. Timberline Ace Hardware, serving the community for over 50 years.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 7th and your post-game show brought to you by Timberline Ace Hardware. We are all about being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience from local experts who know you best at Timberline Ace Hardware. Ty, I'm going to throw it over to you for a little game summary for those of you that are just joining us. You've missed a doozy. It's been a fun one, and Wasatch currently leads 12-3 here in the 7th.
Well, you could write a book on this game, Tyler, and so I'll try to do my best to summarize this here quickly. But started off as really a pitcher's duel. Wasatch got 2 runs in the top of the first, and then that was it. It's 2-0 heading into the 6th inning. Timpview got 3 in the bottom of the 6th, took a 3-2 lead, and then Wasatch puts a 10 spot on the board in the top of the 7th, highlighted by Micah Dahl's 3-run home run. But, Ty, as we get into the postgame here after this, there are a lot of great standout moments to get into in this one, both defensively and offensively for Wasatch.
Strike one here. It's going to be 3-4-5 up for Timpview, who needs to score 9 in order to tie this thing up. Weed, Cannon, and Myers. Weed will take strike one. Livingston still on the mound. He's going to swing at the second one, and this is going to be elevated to shallow shortstop. And Fowler will make the play for the first out of the inning.
And Ty, if I can go a little bit more on that summary here. So you've got 2 runs in the first for Wasatch, 10 in the 7th, and then scoreless. Otherwise, Wasatch only had 5 hits in the game heading into the 7th inning, and they just put 9 hits on the board in 1 inning and scored 10 runs, Ty. And there were a lot of highlights. Obviously, Dahl's 3-run home run. Bridger Shaw had a 2 RBI double that gave Wasatch the go-ahead lead. Colton Hafen drives the ball to right center that ends up giving the tying run there. And so there were just big moments all the way around, whether you want to give Brown the nod for getting the leadoff single, Hafen the nod for tying it up, Shaw the nod for the go-ahead RBI, or Dahl the nod there tied with the 3-run home run. There's just fun plays happening all the way around.
1-1 the count here to Cannon. Swung and fouled off the first pitch. Swings here. Fouls that one off as well. 1-2 now the count.
But, Ty, when you start looking up and down the lineup, 14 hits, and you start wondering who's going to be your offensive player of the game, you've got Brown, who's got 3 hard-hit singles on the day. Hafen, who's got 3 singles on the day as well. He's hit the ball really well. And Micah Dahl, he's got a couple hits, including a 3-run home run. And Ty Bridger-Shaw, a couple clutch hits. He had a 2 RBI go-ahead hit in the 7th. And then you had a clutch 2-out RBI knock earlier in the game as well.
Livingston pulls the string on that one. That's going to be strikeout number 3 on the day for Livingston, who's working on a complete game win. And there's now 2 away. Going to move us to the number 5. Sophomore Riley Anderson is going to be pinch hitting in this spot for the catcher, Elliot Myers. It's one of the 2 players that was ejected from the game in the top half of the 7th. Timpview down to their final out, and man, just another tough loss for Timpview's played very competitive games in region play. Again, only lost by 1 to Salem Hills on an 18-17 game that actually ended with an out at second base, Ty on a pickoff move, and then had the 3-2 lead going into the 7th. And that summary from Tyler brought to you by Robar's Collision. We've built our business on exceptional care, collision repair, and are proud to boast a 98.7 satisfaction rating, which is one of the highest in the business. Swing and a miss there from Anderson, moves the count to 1-1. Another swing and a miss, makes the count 1-2. We're going to give our keys to the win brought to that 7th inning, Ty. The 9 hits, 10 runs scored in the 7th, brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health. 1-2, goes upstairs, misses.
Can I just call it clutch hitting?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the key
hitting,
to the win,
right?
right? Clutch hitting, and you've got so many up and down the board here that you could give it to Bridger Shaw, Austin Brown, Colton Hafen, right? You just got clutch hit after clutch hit Grant Mahoney.
Strikeout number 4, and that'll do it. Wasatch gets the 12-3 victory. And Wasatch wins. We'll go ahead and keep it here and hand out some Ty's trophies. Ty, throw it over to you for our players of the game, brought to you by Country Gardens and Nursery.
It's virtually impossible to just give it to one, Ty, so let me scatter you a little bit. You have got to start on the mound with Max Livingston. I loved what Max did on the mound for Wasatch today. He goes 7 innings pitched, 94 pitches is all it took, strikes out 5 on the day, gives up 3 earned runs, but he was fantastic for Wasatch on the day, Ty, so I'm going to give Max the nod. But defensively, how good was Bridger Shaw at third base, Tyler? He made so many plays, some big plays in the game, too, cutting down runners at home. That fantastic drag bump play that he made, that to me is the defensive player of the game. So I'm going to give Max Livingston kind of the defensive player of the game, but Bridger Shaw is going to get the shout for the defensive player of the game, on that drag bunt, Ty. And flipping on the offensive side, this is tough because Micah Dahl, 2 hits, got on base by hit by pitch, 3-run home run, 3 RBIs. You look at Austin Brown, 3 hits as well, scored 3 runs. He got on base with a walk over there as well today. And then you had Colton Hafen, who had 3 hits for Wasatch as well in this game. And Hafen ended up having a couple RBIs on the day as well. So take your pick there from that, Tyler. But to me, it's probably Brown because of the 3 runs scored, Tyler. He had a very effective game there. But I think the moment of the game for me is the home run from Micah Dahl. That one was just the icing on the cake there for that. And so for me, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to give Brown the offensive player of the game, but Dahl the offensive moment of the game on the 3-run home run.
Which is brought to you by Wasatch Napa Auto Parts. That's going to go ahead and do it for us here. Wasatch improves to 12-5 on the season, 5-1 in region play with the 12-3 victory over the Timpview Thunderbirds. We'll be back on the air next Tuesday as Wasatch travels to the number 1 team in the land, and it'll be a region matchup of 1 versus 2. Maple Mountain undefeated in region play. Wasatch currently in second place in that 5-1. Be a lot of fun for us. Want to thank you for tuning in here on 94.5 The Peak.
You've been listening to High School Baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.